That's fine.
So, yeah.
All right, testing chat real quick. I'm tashed. Tectone. Need to kiss. See if chat pops up.
Hold on. I'm not even there yet. Here it is. Streaming. It didn't show up. It didn't hit me with that bell icon.
Bro.
Oh yeah, I see it. I can see the chat.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, it's pretty delayed.
Oh wait, how come I can't? My overlay sucks.
Here it is. Streaming. It didn't show up. It didn't hit me with that bell icon.
My chat is not for fucking YouTube. Hold on.
What?
Yeah, it's not popping up. I said something in a thing, but it's not on screen.
Oh, it's not like showing up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it in the actual live chat, but I'm assuming you've got some sort of little widget or something. It's like not.
But I don't get why it's not
I gotcha.
connected. Is it only really for...
Mino, no. Witcheroonie? Tell me it's not. I mean, if it's scuffed the first time, it's scuffed the first time. Do people really want to see the tier though? That's the question. Some people do like that, actually, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's
if you
just
can make it work.
Let's just turn off the fucking overlay, dude. The chat's not fucking working.
Okay.
There's no oh, someone subscribed. So I won't see
B's in the chat.
Hey B. Bro, we're gonna have the talk of a fucking lifetime.
Yeah, get ready. It's gonna be it's probably gonna be pretty controversial. No soy drinking allowed.
So I literally cannot see if someone new subscribes or whatever, but that's fine. Chat is up. That's all that matters.
Also, B, I know you've completely and utterly dropped Genshin, but Navia I feel like is really in your wheelhouse because she plays sort of like if you played Gunlance and Monster Hunter. Like old Gunlance, not flying around Gunlance, not flying around Rise Gunlance, but you know.
What? Why is there a warning? Stream is what? Bitrate. Oh, lower than recommended. How would I lower that shit? Is the stream laggy?
It's fine to me.
Hey guys, is the stream laggy? Bruh.
What do you do with your soy drink? You definitely throw it out. No, I'm just kidding. Finish it. Finish that drink. It's all right. You know, we all do and make mistakes every once in a while. We'll forgive you. You know, just finish it off. And then when you get another beverage, just make sure it's not a soy drink. That's all. As far as the stream goes, by the way, it looks fine. I mean, I'm looking at it.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, it doesn't actually say. There's no like alert pop-ups. That's weird. I'll have to learn how to do alert pop-ups on here. But I have the stream health and everything, so that's fine. Close the chat.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna just have to deal with the ads. You know, that's how it be, right? That's the real experience. It's my choice. I mean, Hero Wars. I mean, let me ask you a question. What would you do? Would you punch him? Would you look at him? Would you kiss him? Would you poke him? Caress him? Also, soybean drink. Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming you've got what? Some real coffee.
Alright.
Soybean coffee.
Alright.
I never took you for a coffee drinker, B.
What? Why does my fucking...
Oh, no.
My chat keeps making me fucking go online. I'm having to fucking relog
What do you mean it's... What do you mean it's making you go online?
It's making me fucking sign in for some reason.
You would get rid of the ad? Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, I would too. But you know, not everyone. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he likes the ads. Gabe, you like the ads, or
Yeah, I love it.
he loves it? So you like coffee in the morning? I see. I am not a coffee drinker. I don't need caffeine. I survive on cold water in the morning. I'm pretty regular as well, so I don't have to worry about that problem.
Wait, hold on. What the fuck is happening? Why is my chat just a whole fucking YouTube?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
My chat is
It looks
It's
fine on
fine?
my end.
It's fine. Okay, I'll just keep this
Yeah.
up. God, this is annoying. B, can you chat real
You'll have
quick?
to play
Can
around.
you chat real quick, B?
He's chatting right now. He says he's unsubbing because you're an
Man.
ad lover.
Man, fuck you. Look.
Uh-oh.
Look at this top. Look at this.
Listen,
Look, there's
go
ad
ahead,
block
do
right
it
there.
right now. Listen, block the ads live, and he'll know. He'll
Look, ready?
resubscribe.
Boom.
Oh,
I closed it, bro. All right.
is that good enough? Is it time to mod B in chat so that he can make sure
mod B.
no one shows up and is naughty?
B, you want to be moderator, bro?
I feel like no, wait a minute. B might be the naughty one. He might get naughty with the chat.
B, you want to be moderator?
Give him mod right now.
Someone add to the right. I can't close that one, bro. There's no X on that one.
Oh no.
Do you want to be mod or not, bro?
Aye. Alright, anyway.
Fuck you, B. Here's your
B,
fucking
what are you
mod.
working on? What are you doing? I'm assuming that this popped up on your feed or it was given to you via your phone. It was like, oh hey, do this stream. Watch this stream. You only mod your own Discord. Ah, okay. Fair.
What?
He doesn't want to be policeman.
I don't see that chat on my screen.
What?
Whoa, okay, now it does. Dude.
He's cooking. You're
YouTube-
cooking.
Dude. What?
You're
Oh,
cooking. You're
shit,
watching stream and cooking.
Yeah, who's in here?
Well, we're about to cook up
Yeah, dude. Listen to this fucking
some YouTubers.
cooking, dude. Alright, B, you can just have
We
mod,
are
dude.
going
Fuck
to
you.
cook them up.
Fuck you. You're the cop now, bro.
Oh.
You're a standard moderator.
What's the difference?
There's a different moderator where you can just like make bad words. But
Oh,
it's fine.
okay.
Alright. Everything's set up. There you go. How does that wrench look, B?
Oh man.
Dude, that wrench looks great.
Yeah, it looks really good. Did you post the stream link in the Discord?
Should
Maybe
I?
some others that might want to jump in. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hold on. Fuck.
You got 4 people in here already. Most YouTube streams barely get like 20. So, you know, who knows? You might get some extreme, I don't know what you would, like spotlighting from YouTube. It'll push you up because they like to promote streaming on the platform. Yep, can't help it now. Sorry, you're in the position.
Yeah,
this is the first stream. Yep.
What are you talking about? It is.
He is starting a new like channel chapter, 2024.
Here.
We're gonna be streaming a few things here and there.
Where do I post this in the server, bro?
Wherever the Gacha.
Gotcha?
What do you mean? Yeah.
True. There you go. But the thumbnail.
The thumbnail's really good.
The thumbnail.
That one was so the thumbnail was made 20 minutes ago. That's the deep cut right there. I happened to make it 20 minutes ago. Oh, he says to put it in a general.
General.
He put
Yeah, let's put it in general, dude.
it in the
Let's
general.
Annoy the fuck out of people. Alright.
Anyway.
So, B, you know these lovely, lovely, lovely cast of characters, right? Everyone knows these lovely cast of characters, but the point of stream today, right, is to explain that Star Rail is a need gacha and not a want gacha.
Right, we're gonna describe that difference.
We're gonna debunk that first, and then why this is the only reason. I mean, the only guide people need as a free to play is because instead of being a soy boy following this, right? We're gonna make specific teams for the people you want. So, because it is
like if you've got a favorite,
Yeah.
you can build around your favorite, and it'll work out fine.
Yeah. So you want a full quantum team. Okay. Well, we'll get to it, B. All right. Stop. We get it.
He wants one, and he has one. Okay.
So here's what we're...
He perhaps he wants a better one. We'll show you a better team. Don't worry.
So, first of all, this is true. Okay?
No, it's not. Listen, I like Arlen. He's cool. He's basically just like Space Razor, Space Sino, but
yeah,
he's definitely not S tier.
Okay.
I think before we start placing anybody in there, I think we probably should discuss like the differences between a want gacha and a need gacha. And especially if someone watches this, they're like, oh, I want to get into Honkai Star Rail. Like, what to expect? Because a need gacha has different types of monetization and kind of like how you should save for a need gacha versus a want gacha, that kind of thing. I think that's important before we get into this because, like, you know, you start slapping some characters down and someone's gonna be like, what the hell? I disagree with that. So, I guess Honkai Star Rail, is it a need gacha or a want gacha?
It is a need gacha.
Okay. And
Well,
why is it a need gacha?
Because in beating the game, right? Essentially, you don't need to beat, you know, the harder level contents, right? But you need the characters to beat the harder level content, which is basically the most of the content. Because the story, you can literally just autoplay the battles, autoplay the fucking weekly bosses. You're okay. But since, you know, Star Rail is all about the team building, right? You would essentially not really want, but need. Now, here's the flame, right? People are gonna be like,
what's the flame?
Oh shit. You know, both games made by the same fucking company. Genshin Impact. Right? So,
Okay.
Genshin Impact is then a want gacha.
Okay.
Because
why is Genshin Impact a want gacha versus Honkai Star Rail?
because like it's the same principle. You don't actually need to beat the harder, the harder
Sure.
content. But as people are screaming, whinging, everything, that oh yeah, you can use 4 stars to beat the fucking abyss, yeah. And then people, Star Rail players are saying it's copium. It is
Okay.
true, but the
Listen.
thing is, okay, continue.
While you're yapping over there, listen, I think this is probably a simpler way to kind of like understand partially why Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail are different, despite being made by the same company, are different. One being a want gacha, one being a need gacha. And the biggest difference is player agency. The fact that in Genshin Impact, you have the ability to dodge and move around and have more player agency to how you want to combat challenges. That in itself allows you to, decide, oh, well, I want to play Team X, right? I've got 4 favorite characters. They can be any 4 characters in the entire game. And there's a very good chance that you can, with enough skill and enough time and practice, you could, in theory, perfectly dodge every enemy and get a perfect clear, 12-3 clear on any Spiral Abyss because of the fact that you have that player agency. Because Star Rail, yeah, you have some in the fact that you can select moves, but there's no way to dodge, or you have less player agency. A lot more of it falls onto the strategy element and the team building element, and so the development can be made to pigeonhole certain teams, like, oh, you need X team for this challenge, and if you don't have X team for that challenge, it'll be more difficult for you to try to overcome it, and so it kind of forces you to pull for characters that maybe you weren't really wanting to pull for, just to overcome something. Now, I don't play Honkai Star Rail or Impact or any Honkai game. It's just not my setting, but in particular, Star Rail is not my playstyle. But I've definitely played many gachas. I've played multiple need and want gachas. And I think that when you talk about free to play versus somebody who's spending, in a need gacha, you have to be both pickier and a little bit more meta focused. It's better to build a good team and have that set up so that you can clear your content and then save towards something that you want. Whereas with Genshin, you don't really have to do that. You can kind of pick any of your favorite characters. You could run 4 supports if you want, and you'll be okay because you have more player agency. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the need or want? Yeah, March 7th is S tier. She can be. That's the thing, right? She can be because she has a role that needs to be filled, and if you don't have, X character that may do her role a little bit better, she is a good cope pick. But it's, I think that's whereas in Genshin, right, the only cope picks you have to make really are the occasional overworld thing that you have to do, oh, I need to bring out Amber to do this puzzle, or I need to bring a character that has a shield to make this challenge a little easier. Cough cough, I never used shielded characters for Azdaha. I never will. I don't think you need them, but that you don't need characters for any of that stuff. Whereas in this, if you're required to have shields or a tank or someone to mitigate damage for your team, you'll need a character for that. And so that's kind of where the need gacha comes in. March 7th is a good cope pick, but let's say we can even get in discussion about the popular topic these days, which is which 5-star should you pull with your 300 5-star selector, and it'll depend on your team. That's the spoiler.
Yeah. It'll depend on
So
who do you actually have in your roster.
there is no one character that is better than the others.
Oh, but March 7th?
Yeah, where's March 7th?
Where the fuck is she? I'm out there.
There she is.
All right.
D. D. Damn.
D for damn. All right.
All right. No, get rid of both of them. Come on, move them off. All right. So, how do you want to start this tier list?
So, we're gonna start
particularly this is a free to play tier list, right? Where first of all, this is 0 constellation, purely free to play. Like, what can you do with 0 money? You're doing nothing. You're not spending anything.
So, for my experience playing this game, right now, the biggest thing you need to collect are supports.
Okay.
So,
I would say that kind of goes with every gacha.
Uh-huh.
Supports usually are king.
Who's another support? So Bronya, amazing support.
Yep.
Turn skip. Right.
So, okay, well let's. Why should Bronya be an S tier? Is it because of the fact that
her
she...
mechanic? Her mechanic.
Right, her mechanic's strong, but I would also say it's because of the fact that she is a standard banner character, right? She is available
this is right there
with your 300 pull.
Yep.
Right.
So for now, we are gathering the supports from here. We have.
So why would you say Asta is a tier below?
Asta is a tier below because she gives speed and attack, but like.
Okay.
There's only like a few other people who would actually just be like, you know, oh yeah, you need to make this character faster, or just like, you know, make it infinite turns, blah blah blah, and all that. But
right,
in a more casual sense, it's not, you know.
I mean, does she, in terms of the type of support she provides, is there a hyper carry that she can support that is accessible, like one that you can build around, even if you don't have, like, you know, the top end all be all supports that are available? Like, let's say you don't have a Bronya, can you still use Asta to buff, like, you know, Seal,
yeah.
right? Like, she wants to
like
speed, right?
The good thing about these supports is that even if they're specified as you know, oh yeah, this support perfect for Imbibitor Lunae, or this support perfect for double DPS, right?
Are we gonna? By the way, are we gonna have the double DPS meta conversation?
We're gonna have
that was cut out of your last video.
We're gonna have to because
okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But for now, like I said, supports. So let's see, Tenyan up there, basically one of the most generalized supports. Yukong is B. You need so much speed tuning with her that if she's not just before your main DPS, you're fucked. You wasted a skill.
Right, so she's clunky, and I mean, because the tuning, right, that also puts more pressure on like a better and more perfect artifact setup, right? It's like it's a lot higher of a time sink as a free to play, right? Like the type of resources you can be investing in something that's easier to build and easier to play. Now, obviously, if she's your favorite character, right, like player, but you'll have to. That's when we get into like team building, what you can and can't use. Okay, you're
run
throwing
all
up a lot of
DPS
characters. You're kind of
march.
rapid firing here.
No, because
so,
we're like spreading them one by one. So after
Okay.
Yukong, we have Silver Wolf. Silver Wolf breaks the game. She's up there because she literally you pick a whole team and you gamble on your chances to get that element on the enemy that doesn't have that. It's just that easy.
Okay.
Right? Ruan Mei.
Hold on. We've
What is
someone
this?
in the chat says they run all DPS plus March.
You're crazy. But hey, we applaud you for playing like a want gacha. And that's the most important thing. You have fun with it.
Right. That's exactly what I was about to say. That's the most important thing. Having fun.
Oh. Imagine. Hey, Cabbage, give me your
Yeah. What's your team specifically?
give me your fucking team right now. How do I put this in? How the fuck do I put this in? I can't lock it.
Why isn't it?
Huh?
You have to...
Huh?
Oh no.
How do I use this?
Advanced mode.
Reset
Maybe you gotta
team.
click that on.
Oh, maybe. I can't.
Okay.
Even click it. Let me refresh this.
Sunglass emote LMAO. Yeah. Give us your team. We're gonna try to put this together.
How do I use this?
I don't know. I've never used this before. There's not a better like calculator online.
I can't even. I can move the fucking.
I mean, it looks like you can
let's
type
put it
into the empty spot, but
March. No, that's just my computer, bro.
oh, okay.
Like I can't even put. This sucks, bro.
All right, she's using Argenti, the Trailblazer, Xingwan, and March. That's the spirit right there. Is your
That's
Trailblazer male or
amazing.
female? That's also important.
Yeah, it's very important. Where do I fucking get a fucking team builder here? Hold on, I'm trying to get a team builder.
We do love it, yeah, absolutely.
We love it. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh.
team building guide. Yikes.
Fuck, I don't need that shit. Why can't I use this? Do I need fucking accelerator?
What?
What? Female destruction?
Oh. See, this is I guess this is my like my hot take here with this build. If you replace March with oh gosh. Why is my brain Oh no, my brain is like
No.
shutting down. Gabe, 5-star, Shielder,
Gapper.
blonde hair, Gappard. If you put Gappard in instead of March, you now have Trailblazer with Harem. There you go. That's a definitely good team right there.
Mm-hmm. Why can't I? Everything is locked.
Just find a calculator online. You don't need it to be visual. I'm sure there's a Star Rail calculator out there.
Star Rail team. Let's see.
Oh no. How to make
Reverse
good.
harem. I would want to make a
Yep.
March harem.
March Harem. Oh,
March
okay.
harem.
So you'll probably want to get in Bibber Lune
Mm-hmm.
next time.
The only ship.
The only real ship.
is
And then I guess that just replaces your Trailblazer. Easy. Because Argenti hits on her, and does Yingwan hit on her? I don't think so, right? Is that a little bit of a stretch?
No.
A little, is that kind of cope? Is that a
No.
little bit of a cope ship?
No.
No?
No, they don't.
Uh,
Bruh.
I think it's time for you to give up.
Dude.
What is this? What is this draft tool? What are you doing?
This PvP draft fucking...
Aye.
How do I use
A
this?
stretch, a cope ship. Yeah, that's, I mean, you know, sometimes you just gotta let your not be dreams. And, you know, maybe the catch is on, right? We're gonna make the God tier March 7th reverse harem team. And, you know, MiHoYo is gonna see it because it's gonna catch off. It's gonna be the best team around. And they're gonna start making little cartoons about it, and you know that'll be it. We'll secure the ship just for you. Dude. Oh no! Are you just listen? I think it's time for you to get.
Let's just get back. I just gotta get the fuck out of here. Alright.
I think it's time for you to give up there.
Alright, let's get back here. Okay. Ruan Mei. Another great support. Let's close this for B. Another great support.
Gotta close the ad. Okay.
She's specifically made for double DPS because she gives bonus damage to the whole team.
Dude, I heard she's so broken, dude. She's totally broken. She's the most broken character that's ever existed.
Well, that's because she's very flexible. That's the whole thing. You can have her on a hyper carry or a double DPS. That's why she's very broken. She is the epitome of bang for your buck. Okay? So if
I could bang her buck if you know what I'm talking about.
If you are wanting to do a triple or double DPS team, and you want that big support, Ruan Mei, you need to get Ruan Mei.
So, Cabbage, I know it's time. Get her.
You're gonna have to get rid of one of those people, probably Trailblazer.
But then you can run however many husbandos, waifus. As long as they're DPSs,
it'll
be fine. It'll work.
And then in 2.0, Sparkle will get released, and
that's gonna expect many a video that'll say Sparkle is the best character that they've ever released in Honkai Star Rail.
Forgot to put in Hanya, but Hanya is the 4-star version of Sparkle now, because Sparkle will power creep Hanya. They both give skill points, but what Sparkle does is actually makes your skill point bag bigger. So you'll have, I think it was 8.
I've seen some pictures of 7 and 8.
Oh, 7? Yeah. But
yeah.
It'll make your thing 7 and 8, and it'll be that way as long as she's on your team, and you'll get 4 skill points every ult. So perfect. Perfect.
She'll be meta defining.
She'll break the game. You have Daniel, Imbibitor Daniel, who will make use of that very well. But you know, there's other support. Other DPS that would be, skill point hungry. But just the examples. Sunday.
So you say you're gonna roll for Sunday. We don't know the kit. I don't believe.
No, we don't know the kit.
Sunday
we just know he's gay.
I like his design. Good husbando design. Rolling for Blade. I mean, Blade could take.
Okay. No. The only Blade is so. This thing is real. Blade is power crept. Okay.
Yeah.
Blade is power crept.
So I guess okay. Well, here we can get back into our want and need discussion, right? Because why is power creep in Honkai Star Rail a bigger deal than it is in Genshin Impact?
You just got it, Kevin. You fucking.
It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
We all work at our own pace.
Uh-huh.
That's good. It's fine.
So now we go back to the needs and wants, right? So here's
So
the
yeah,
thing.
why is it? Yeah.
Cabbage, do you want Blade? A character that's already been power crept. What the fuck is that?
Is this a dab?
What answer is that? This
Just dabbing on the haters. Anyway, continue.
So if you want Blade, the best team right now for Blade, sadly, is a double DPS team, which consists of Blade, Jing Liu, Ruan Mei, and a healer.
Yeah, any choice of healer.
I don't want Blade that bad.
Okay. Yes, there is chat lag a little bit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? So when you're talking about the double DPS thing, it's like I think one of the reasons why content creators will push that team and they will put it to the forefront is because many content creators spend on the game and they will spend for almost every unit. And in particular, people like to pick up DPS units because they like to see number go up, get big.
Big number.
And so the double DPS team kind of allows you to continue to rotate your investment heavy DPSs. And basically, when the new one comes out that power creeps the old one, you bench the one from before, move the one that you were just using to the sideline, and then bring in the new one, and there's your double DPS team. That is not good in terms of a I want to be free to play or a low spender account, because you will probably experience burnout, and more importantly, you'll probably feel as if you can't keep up. The treadmill will be too hard to keep up. But yeah, so that's the problem, unfortunately. A need gacha is that, and again, another problem, I guess, in general, as for a game like Honkai Star Rail, is that the developers simply have to introduce new mechanics or even higher HP pools, etc., to make characters feel like they're not good anymore and that you need to pull for a new character.
I hope that
power
doesn't
creep
happen.
is happening very quickly and will probably continue to happen quickly with Sparkle's release. She will probably change the entire way most teams are built. But then here's the thing, right? It's like that's your gamble. Supports will always be probably your best bet if you want to chase meta, because supports like Sparkle are unique enough, right? Their job is unique. She creates a additional energy pool for hungrier characters, so
and also
she'll be less likely to be power
her
crept.
Skill advances your main DPS pick power forward 50%, just like Bronya, but just halfway.
Right. So yeah, completely free to play Honkai. Yeah, so if you're gonna go completely free to play Honkai, there's kind of two ways you can go about it. If you're somebody who just likes to have fun, you're just kind of mulling around, you're collecting husbandos.
Yeah.
You can't collect too many, but you're collecting your husbandos, your waifus, and you're having fun, you're doing your events, and you're not worried about endgame content or catching up or feeling left out with those who have higher power levels than you, then you're golden. Go for it. Pick up any character you want. You'll be fine. If you're a free-to-play player who wishes to do the endgame content or wishes to keep up or wishes to be able to, clear things with ease, you're going to need to invest in a team that will help you clear content. The problem is, with a need gacha, that team, you might have to kind of cope a little bit.
I've been dragging all this time. I can just click.
Wow. Wow. Okay. It seems you're not the only one who's slow, Savage.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it would be
I'm sorry.
Trailblazer, Argenti,
Where's Jingwon and then March.
Jingwon and March.
This.
Yep.
Oh wait,
Yep.
no, it's not fire. It's not fire. My bad.
No, probably not fire.
It is destruction.
Yeah.
So you have three main damage dealers and one.
But you know what? This is fine. And honestly, like, if you want to make this team better, you would just get the most recent support right now, slot it in where March 7th is, if you're really ballsy.
But
you just made your 3 DPSs go ham.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do something a little harder, you drop one of your main damage.
Probably physical Trailblazer.
Yep, probably
that's
that.
The weakest fucker there.
And then put in the Wang Mei or whatever her name is.
What is she? Oh,
Meanie.
That's it.
Meanie girl, and then there it is. That's your team.
Yeah. So this is a double erudition DPS team. So those mini fuckers around the boss, dead.
Yep.
Dead.
Now, this team will struggle in certain areas, obviously.
Yeah,
but
one big boss.
But at the same time, when you look at these characters here, like the one that is less likely to get power crept is Wanmei. That's it. Like all the others, they have a higher chance. Supports will always be something that are a safer investment. But
and guess what? Jingwon did get power crept, and guess what? It's by Argenti. So
yeah, so they do roughly about the same type of thing. So, but as we are showing here, you can definitely run this, and this would be viable. It would probably work for quite a bit of the hard content. I don't know if you'd be able to pass all of the like Abyss, whatever, but you could probably get quite a few gems out of it if you wanted to get like a return support out of it.
So now here's the thing I was talking about with you. If you do want Blade, it would be Jingliu, Blade, Wanmei, and a healer. So let's just say, where is the boy? So, Luocha.
I wouldn't even use a 4-star healer. Make it even more like Kopi. More attainable. There you go. That works. So, but when you look at this team, it's like the issue isn't that you can't run Blade. It's just that ideally, really, Jingliu is doing all the carrying, and Blade's just kind of there. When you'd probably be better off.
Because what really just happens is that Blade needs to get hit or loses health to stack up a passive that is a massive AoE. And Jingliu takes away health from her team to buff herself up. That's really it. Like every attack she does, she'll take a bit of health away. And that activates Blade's shit. Now, the difference is that they'll both be attacking, and the reason why Wanmei is your best support there is because it just buffs them up both at the same time.
Right. Okay, Gabe, I would like to run Clara as a character. What teammates am I going to use for her?
All right. Where the fuck is she?
She's at the top.
So,
Hi.
Clara is all about tanking.
Yep.
So what you really want to do is have a healer, of course.
Yeah.
And then the thing you do is be a it would probably be Ting Yun. The fuck? I can't. I'm blind, dude. Where's the Fox Girls?
I believe all of this is it's ordered alphabetically, so you just have to go to T.
T. Where the fuck is there? You go. And then another support because she will be hyper carry and she will be very slow. So what you want is buffs from supports that'll be on the DPS's turn. So Ting Yun is really great.
Yeah.
And probably Ron Mei, hey. Or Fushwan. Either way.
Yeah.
Because she gives crit even though she's a tank.
Right. The key is that, you know, here you are, you're going through the supports. It's a lot harder to, like, you know, the supports can kind of fit in to, you know, any team that you're going to be working. If you want to use Clara, you could just use Ronmei, right? That's the key. So when you look at Sparkle, it's like Sparkle comes out. It's very likely most teams, if not all teams going forward, will probably want to use her to some extent because of her mechanic that is, you know, unique. So in, I guess the best way to describe it, in Genshin, Farina came out and she buffs damage at sacrificing HP. Why is Farina not totally replacing the other damage buffers? That's because they kind of do the same job. They just do a little different things here and there, and it's up to choice. But it's also because of the fact that you have that player agency. You're not worried about, you know, you could play extremely aggressive, and yeah, exactly. There's many things you to alter the gameplay substantially in Genshin. So because the player has more agency, there's more skill involved. You can kind of flub and get away with, you know, using, if you're like, I'm gonna just be real, I'm sure there's people out there who will probably pick up Cloud Retainer when she releases, and they'll try some silly stuff like I don't know, like Charlotte Plunge. And you know what? You can do that in Genshin because of the fact that the game is, you know, more skill based. It's like, yeah, if you, as long as your inputs are good, you could definitely do it. So whereas this, it's kind of like, you know, if you're coping as a free-to-play player, you only have Clara. You know, what's the best thing you should do? Well, you either invest in a new DPS that will get power crept, or you invest in the support that will support, hopefully, your teams going forward. So you have to make that decision up front. Pick the support. I have seen your pro Genshin strats. Yeah, definitely. You know, seeing your Zhao hit like 6,000s on his plunge damage alt, it's really juicy. Definitely seen him. But you know what? That's okay. You know, not everyone has time to build artifacts. And as long as you're having fun, and that's the beauty of Genshin, it's actually a video game. You get to go explore the world and enjoy and have fun running around. Whereas, you know, Star Rail's a hallway simulator. But anyway, let's get back to the tier list. So, let me ask you a question. If we look at the supports as a whole, the S tier supports, which S tier support is like the closest to being power crept?
I'll be Ting Yun. She's a 4-star.
Because she's a 4-star.
She doesn't add much to the thing except for the basic buffing, but her buffing is just that good that it takes a long while. That's why she's up there.
Basically, they just have to release a 5-star that does her job, but
Mhm.
has bigger numbers, basically. Whereas the others that are up there kind of have a more unique approach to their kit or what they do.
Yeah. So this would be the support tier list, which is the most important thing you need to collect. Because it's a need gacha.
Need gacha.
Mhm.
So as a free-to-play player, you have limited currency. You're not sure. Who should I pull for? This is excluding things that you want to pull for. If there's something that you need to pull for, it's a support. The supports will get power crept less, and they will, for probably for the foreseeable future, change the meta a lot more than a DPS ever will. And you'll see that with 2.0's release with Sparkle, for sure.
Alright, what should we do next here? Should we do debuffers? Which is
Sure,
technically support? Alright.
Sure.
Well, okay, so she's up there. She's a debuffer.
So here's the question then. Silverwolf, is she a better debuffer or support?
She's more of a support, really, than a debuffer.
So then I would put her ahead of Qingyun because she fills 2 jobs,
Yeah.
right? And in fact, you could maybe even argue because she fills 2 jobs, she's more flexible. She's ahead of Bronya.
I think we should
Because
just mix
Bronya-
them both, but the thing is, some of these debuffers are more like damage debuffers instead of like actual
Sure.
like support debuffers. So what we'll probably do
Yeah.
is, who's in here?
I mean, you could
Topaz.
make you could
Topaz.
do separate tier lists if you
Okay.
want as well.
So
but-
Topaz D for damage, alright? D for damage. Okay.
D for damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who else we have here? Guinefin. D for damage. Pela is actually really good, just below here.
Yep.
Such AoE damage, defense reduction, great, amazing. Welt,
Good. I was gonna say you better not put your man up higher just because you like him.
no, it's the truth. Luca is where the fuck is Luca? There you go.
See, isn't he? He has a niche in like DoT teams
Sampo.
though, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do with the separations here. So what is? Oh, there you go.
There he is.
All right, it's someone's fucking favorite here. So what happens is that DOTs would be Sampo, Guinefin, and then Luca. So this is the tier list for my 4-star DOTs, right? Sampo is the best. Guinefin is next to that, and then Luca. And
So then here's the question: Would because of the fact that they have already a pre-built niche, right? They already have a team. So let's say you're that guy, you're a mommy lover, you're a Makima lover. You're like, yep, I want Kafka.
Guy, I got
right.
I'm that guy, pal.
You're like, I want to pull Kafka. I
have
that's
Kafka.
just me,
Yep.
literally me. Then all you have to do is you plug in the rest of those roles, right?
Yeah.
You just
so
like, boop, boop,
here's
boop,
the thing. Depending on the enemy, what you do is just you either pick Luca, if it's thingy, if it's physical, or if it's wind, you pick Sampo, or if it's fire, you pick Guinefin, right?
Yep.
But they're all gonna get power crept.
Yes, I agree.
There you
Now,
go.
but here's the thing. That's so Black Swan comes out. Sorry, Sampo, move over.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's the question. Will Black Swan get power crept?
So far, since she's the only power crept for Sampo, no, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But then the other question is, well, would Kafka ever get power crept? And the answer is yes. There will someday be. I'm sorry, you know, mommy lovers out there, you're just gonna have to hope and pray there's an equally mommy character out there that will power creep her.
And of course,
that you can pull for.
just any healer, any 5-star healer will be
Yep,
good.
any healer.
Any healer, a 4-star doesn't matter. And then, since it is a double DPS,
Yep.
you get Ron May.
Yep.
This is a team.
And if you're noticing a trend, it's because there is one. and this is the kind of the problem of the need gacha. Because you're on that treadmill. Oh, Ranmei releases, she changes the meta, you gotta be on that treadmill. Now, obviously, this is the best setup. Let's say you're a coper, you're a free-to-play. You pulled for Kafka with your PP, not your brain. And you can't afford to get Black Swan because you haven't been saving. You couldn't afford to get Huho, so you couldn't save. And you couldn't afford to get Wanmei because you didn't save. Who would you play instead? All you have to do is you're going to slot in your Natasha, and you're going to slot in whichever.
Probably Ting Yun.
Ting Yun, yeah.
Because she is the best, like, just 4-star support. And then if you don't have Black Swan, of course, use Sampo or
Sampo.
Luca or Guinevere.
Yep.
That's it.
So the thing is like, even though you may not have the best of those, you can still kind of slot them in, despite the fact they may not do quite as good a job, because of the fact that their roles are healer or support, or tank, whatever. There is more wiggle room to kind of, I guess, save. But I would still say that, like, if you're that Kafka puller, get your
fucking
get
Black
your
Swan.
Ranmei, get your Black Swan.
Get your Ranmei. That's it.
Yep. That's just fill them in. Fill those little pieces in. It's a jigsaw puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to the tier list, though, so then here's the question. Would those three that are sitting there go up a tier because of the fact that they have a more, like, put together niche? It's not like they're just some debuffer, right? They're not just there. Are they actually D tier?
Because here's the thing, right? If you have Kafka up here for damage wise, they would just be like your color picker, because you would always just want to have her with her.
Right.
So they would just all be B.
Right. Then they would get up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then here's the question, though. Is Kafka only A tier?
Because I would say, people are gonna hate me, DoT is I would agree with the YouTubers, DoT is not the best, because you don't want your enemy to take turns, because that just makes you lose more time to beat the Abyss, because it takes turns,
Right.
So sure, you can push your enemies all the way down, they can't take your fucking turn, but then they're not going to do their damage.
Right. So when this game first came out and Seal had turn skips, I knew immediately that would be like your best bet. Any game that has a turn-based system, skipping turns or skipping your opponent's turn is one of the most powerful mechanisms you can use to your advantage. I personally would disagree, only because of the fact that this is a free-to-play tier list, and as a free-to-play player, you may be that guy who says, well, I want to play AoE dots. And in that case, Kafka is S tier, because she provides that playstyle at the best you can get currently. So, it depends on kind of what you're valuing. I think that putting Kafka at A is only because I think maybe you're thinking of it as like a vacuum, like what is the best penultimate team, right? But I think the thing to keep in mind is you can definitely clear content with an AoE dot team for sure. It just may not be as quick. So,
But no, but that's what I meant. This is a need tier list.
right.
Like, you need
Okay,
these
so-
guys. Like, if you want to
Okay,
make
okay.
whatever team you want to make, you need these guys. That's the whole point.
Okay.
So, that's why I kind of would say like DPS.
No, I understand.
Would not be.
I got you now. I got you.
Yeah.
Because Kafka, if you like her, then she would be a need for AoE. So that's why she's at A,
DoT,
but she's
DoT.
not an ass. Sorry, DOT.
Yep.
But she's not an ass because of the fact that she does not like supplement multiple teams, and she doesn't like carry on her own like
Mhm.
other characters do. Okay, I gotcha.
And then we have actual debuffers. So Welt
Yep.
slows them down. What is the best free-to-play team for the latest quest? The bug fight in the latest quest? I got you. So the
We're
best
talking free to play, like real free to play.
Free to play.
Let's pretend you haven't pulled for anybody. You might have a single 5-star summon from the standard banner. Let's say that.
Uh-huh. So, what the fuck is the enemy called? Hold on. What is the enemy called? Do you remember?
The bug?
The bug?
Bug?
Bug boss.
Careful.
There you go. What's his name again? Alright, I'm sorry to
Stormbringer
these
bug.
guys. There you go.
Just said.
Stormbringer bug?
That's what it said, yeah.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna look at the elements here. So,
Star Crusher
Here.
Swarm King. Scaricabaz.
So,
Okay.
also, hot take, the story for this guy getting made with Ron May is actually so fucking bad. It was so boring.
You don't say. Okay. Continue.
Alright. So,
So, elements.
this guy has a skill where if you hit him while he has a shield on, he summons more fuckers. Right?
Yep.
That doesn't matter in the long run. You just fucking kill him as fast as you can. So you have ice, imaginary, and
Physical.
physical.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the main DPSs, right? You have
Talking free to play.
talking free to play. Su Shang.
Yep.
What was it? Ice and okay.
Yep. Ice and imaginary.
Welt would be there. Clara would be there.
Let's
as
say you
well.
didn't have, but let's say you didn't have either of those.
Mm.
We're going like bottom barrel, like
Bottom
absolute
barrel.
scraping the bottom barrel.
Okay.
Yep.
It would probably be. Where the fuck is she? And then, fully free to play, right? Who do we get for free?
I mean, your Trailblazer is a free character.
True. Which is probably a better shielder, right? Hot take. Fire Trailblazer better shielder than March 7. I'm sorry, but
Ooh. Yeah, Copium at the max. Yep. March. Yeah. Okay. March is. Yeah. Okay. Should be fine. So
okay. But you do
this
need your
is
support,
this is
which
Yep.
is would probably be Tingyun.
Yep. So this is about as cope as it gets, right? This is like you have no luck. You have at least March 7th.
Yeah, if you've been saving your rolls this whole time. Oh wait,
Yep.
no, you get
Save-
you get Asta and Pela for free.
Ah, okay.
So I would
Okay,
even I
so that
would
would
not
be
even put March 7 there. She can go. Like I
Right.
said, the new wave right now, or the wave that I've
Okay.
been following, is having two supports.
Yep.
It's not a sub damage. She's a support.
Right.
And a healer. That's
Right.
it. That is it. This is it.
This is the ultra cope. Now, let's say you pulled for the latest banner. So you've got Ron May as a support. You can dump one and put her in. Yep. Now, how would you build around this? You got your Pella. You got your Natasha.
That's it.
That's it.
But for your team, you have.
Yeah, so
you fucking have Argenti, bro.
Yep. Argenti. He'll do you good.
And I would honestly just put Ting Yun. So that's a good battery. Ting Yun is a very good battery. So he would get his ult more. And then another support would either be Asta for more speed on Argenti. Or Pela for more damage on AoE. Because she gives AoE defense shred.
Which will help with the ads if you need it.
Yeah. And then they just mix very well together. And then you have a healer, just two whatever.
Any empty slot for a healer, you can use whoever.
That's it.
Now, let's say you had unlimited budget. What's the best team? Oh, you got his light cone too. Big spender.
What was the question again? Sorry.
What's like the Giga Chad team? You have infinite money. What's the best team to do this boss?
Do this boss easy.
Yep.
The one character that I've been wanting to fucking roll on that I didn't roll on. There you go. Anyways.
Yep. Then you just
the strongest team right fucking now. This.
Yeah. Yeah. Two of the most recent supports. One of the most recent DPSs. And then Blade. You can kind of probably dump Blade for... I mean... Let me ask you. Does Inhibitor Lune work instead of Blade?
No.
No.
Because Blade's passive works very well with Jing Liu, and that's the whole point. He's gonna keep his passive.
You don't
faster.
think that it wouldn't? You don't think it wouldn't be like at this point with your two? You have your Giga support. You have a great healer. You have Jing Liu. You can't just slot in Dan Hang.
No, he's too
damage.
hungry. He'd be too hungry.
Can't even cope with him. He's already been power crept.
Oh.
Put him aside. He's done.
And the thing is, because Blade is power skill point positive.
Right.
So he just needs to use skill once, and that's it. He's happy for 3 turns. And that's why I don't know. Do I want to do this? You know? Do I want to do this and fall in with the rest of the YouTubers?
Are you going to succumb to the dark side?
That's what I meant.
See, I think the double support healer plus 1 DPS is the smarter free-to-play option because of the fact that you're going to have those supports for longer. If you invest in 2 DPSs, like what happens when Sunday comes out and Sunday power creeps Jing Liu, right? Like, what are you going to do? Oh, well, I guess put Jing Liu on the sideline, right? Or you cope, you say, well, I guess I have to skip Sunday, and you skip Sunday, and then you basically have to wait for some other DPS to power creep him. Because that's the issue, right? When you have kits in supports that are, like, unique, I'll give a different example of a gacha that I play, and I've played, many times before. In Romancing Saga, the most recent support character that is like a must pull, because that game is also, I would say, like a 50-50 want or need gacha. There's definitely need gacha elements, and it's because the developers design scenarios in which they kind of like showcase a character, but that showcase is typically a response to certain playstyle or a meta change. So this new character comes out, and her whole kit revolves around her basically nullifying status ailments. And now normally status ailments weren't a big deal, but now more and more bosses come out. They have it's a lot harder to debuff them, and more importantly, they're trying to status you all the time. So you want to pick her up because she's kind of the only character that exists at the moment that does what she does. Now, maybe in 6 months' time they release another character that does that job better. You're going to replace her, but I don't think that Wanmei is going to get replaced anytime soon. Sparkle is not going to get replaced anytime soon. There's supports that have defined kits, and if you played the double support, you can then kind of build around that one hyper carry favorite character, right? It's like as a free to play character,
truly turning the need gacha into a want gacha.
Exactly. That's the key. It's how do you position yourself in a need gacha to turn it into a want gacha, and that's to create a foundation for yourself to be able to do the content while also being able to invest in something you would like to play versus something that you need to play. And to do that, it's supports. And that's what this whole tier list / conversation, team building, it's just going to boil down to, spoilers, invest in your supports and you'll be fine. As a free to play, if you invest in supports, even if you don't like the character, set aside some gems. When you're saving your gems for husbando number 3 or waifu number 4, just set aside a few of those gems. Say, you know what, I'm going to pull for Sparkle because she's got a kit that will define the game for, a couple months to come. And even if she gets power creeped in a year's time, she'll still be useful. So that's kind of the key. Whereas your husbando number 4, if he gets power crept by some guy who does more damage, well, he's not really useful anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the key.
Content only gets harder. And that's the thing. Using a double DPS, you would have to put on more resources for them. And the truth is, DPS will get more power crept than any other of the units.
You can even see this in Genshin. The characters that have been affected the hardest are those that have damage dealing kits, whereas supports tend to age a lot better. Mm-hmm. That's not to say there aren't supports in Genshin that aren't used anymore or low on usage rates. Well, partially that's recency bias. People like to play what's new, but
they're still there.
It's also they're still there and they still work fine because again you have that skill element. You can run Barbara instead of Kokomi 100%, and many people do because functionally they're both healers, and functionally they both have off-field water, and that's basically it, right? It's like the difference is how you play them. Barbara, you're going to have to keep in mind that you're going to have to be up close and personal, and that might fit your gameplay style better. It's an element that you have to work around as the player, whereas in this, it's kind of like, well, I have a lot less, and we're not even talking about the autoplay, right? Like the autoplay function, this game doesn't go into the depth of certain autoplay gachas that I've played. For instance, Iron Saga, which is a mech battling gacha game. That game allows you to put pets on your mechs that alter the AI of your auto battling mechs to do X, Y, and Z. So you can take a sniper mech that maybe has like an insano kick if they're near an enemy, slap on an AI changer that says, no, you can only be in close combat, and that will force the mech to try and kick enemies more often, that allows you some strategy and flexibility. Whereas in this, it does not. The autoplay will do what it feels like it does, and you don't have much control over that besides like which characters you've selected. Yes, exactly. You use Barbara and Abyss even though you have Kokomi. And that's the point. Whereas in this, because things are... There is strategy. I'm not saying that Star Rail does not have strategy or doesn't have gameplay, right, in air quotes. But that strategy, it involves... It's a turn-based system, so it involves you getting hit no matter what. And so it's a lot less about how skillful you can be and a lot more about whether or not you made the right choices or built your characters correctly. And again, that's a lot less freedom, and so that's where like the need gacha versus the want gacha.
Because you literally don't even need a healer in Abyss if you just dodge. Correct.
Well. Yeah, if you're just good enough. I mean, there are plenty of videos of soloing Abyss content. That's the like thing that, you know, need I may remind you, it's like in Genshin you can solo Abyss. There are people out there who are nutty enough with a certain character and they solo Abyss. Now, usually it's like a high constellation character, but not always. Whereas in this, you would never be able to get away with it because of the fact that content is basically just number crunching, and the developers can just turn around and say, well, you know, we're sick and tired of double damage dealer meta. Let's do double tank meta instead. And they introduce a new mechanic that totally shakes things up. But
it's Villain of the Week.
Correct. Villain of the Week versus Genshin, which it may have mechanics that kind of change the tide of things, like Fontaine's Numia and Usia system, but that mechanic, you can still clear Abyss with Mondstack characters that do not have that ability. And so, you know, yeah, if you want to clear Abyss with like Delik versus Hu Tao, you might need to invest a little bit more on like how you are piloting your Delik versus how you pilot Hu Tao. But they, you know, basically clear like in a similar fashion, unless you're looking at, and we're not comparing C6, you know, or E6 even here. And that's the key, right? When you look at content creators, they're going to promote the style of play that they're going to be playing. And usually it's a style of play that it requires high investment, whether that's time, right? They're playing the game all the time, whereas you might be a weekend warrior. You can only play it like when you're on the train to and from work, whatever. And it's very likely that they spend a lot of money as well to get where they're getting. So, you know, I'm not saying that double damage dealer isn't a meta-defining comp or isn't good, but as a free-to-play player, you want to avoid it because you're going to be burned in more ways than one. And it won't just be like burnout from resources, it'll be burnout from not being able to keep up. That FOMO will creep in, and before you know it, you got a gambling addiction, and you know your bank's calling you up and saying, hey, you just spent $300 on Hoyoverse Star Rail. Is everything okay? So, you know, it's better if you're going to invest, want to be that person who's free to play and wants to take in all the content that is to be had, and that including, you know, the hard content in quotations, then you need to invest in supports versus DPS, in my opinion, and in Gabe's opinion. But we can probably return to the tier list and continue working on it. So, Welt and Topaz are debuffers.
But Welt is the plainest of the plainest of the debuffers. Just slows him down.
I mean, he's an OG 5-star. What are you gonna expect, right? He's gonna be the most power crept of the debuffers available.
And then Topaz is a debuffer specifically made for follow-up attacks.
Right.
So she buffs follow-up attacks. So
Right.
say Himiko or our doctor.
Yep. Jingwan.
Jingyuan.
Yeah.
Where's Clara? Clara. What else is follow-up attacks? That's it.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh no, her. Okay. So, what she really does is buffs up follow-up attacks and all that. I can show you real quick. My PC, the Nazis. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what the fuck is this? Okay. This is ultimate.
You good?
I'm fucking overwhelmed right now. Holy
Too many
shit.
numbers. Too
Alright,
much
so,
text.
Number damage multiplier increased by 150%, crit by 25%.
Uh-huh.
That will hit any ally. So proof of that is what the targeting mechanic for Numby is.
Uh-huh.
And then this is the skill. Increases the damage it takes from follow-up attacks by 50%. This is the one. So you target one person, and then whoever that person is will get a debuff that'll take more damage from follow-up attacks. So she's really... So Topaz is the double DPS team that everyone is going for. Dr. Ratio is...
Because you got them for free, so that's the thing, right? This is an important character, too, to kind of, like, discuss and build around as well, because everybody's got them, whether you like it or not.
This is it. The healer, whatever, and then that. That is the main team.
Mm-hmm.
Because you debuff them with your skill, and that debuff makes you take more damage from follow-up attacks, which is his main damage shit. Right?
Right.
And that's it. It's basically just like they feed off each other, just like Jing Liu
Right.
and Blade.
And
It's
the
the
thing
same thing.
is that team that we just saw, that healer could have been Huo, and that buffer was Ranmei, which were the same healer and buffer combo that you see in most teams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key. Both those supports slot into more teams than, you know,
So literally
something
just have
like
these two.
Topaz, right? That's very, very specific.
So very, very specific. Because here's the thing. Jing Liu can be hyper carry, but with Ranmei, this happens. Or,
Right.
now that Ratio is here and Ranmei is released, you'd want to roll for Ranmei because you'll want to do this. Because that's these two are perfect. They're married.
Right. And let's say you want to run...
And it's the same thing with this.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep. Let's say you want to run... let's say you want to run Seal. Because there's probably quite a few people that pulled for her at 1.0.
Seal doesn't mix with anyone. So here's what you do.
Right.
Since she doesn't mix with anyone... Because that's our whole point. You need the support.
So here's the thing. Yes, we are tempting you to pull. But here's the key. Where do you see yourself in the future of Star Rail? Are you somebody who's playing as a free-to-play to have fun, kind of just like maltz around and do whatever? Or are you looking to play Star Rail as like maybe your main game to play for a lot of time and invest in and save for characters? Because if it's the latter, right, you're talking about like, I don't know, spending a lot of time in the game and wanting to do endgame content, absolutely you want to pull for Ranmei, because the fact that she will help you for the longevity of the game more than, you know, Topaz would, right? Because she's so specific. But yes, I mean,
So
to say the least. Okay, let's actually clear this team. Let's put up. So we've got Argenti, right? Got Argenti with the light cone. Does Ranmei work with him? Absolutely, right? You put that in. You're gonna want your healer. So pick your healer. Doesn't have to be Huho because I'm guessing she doesn't have. Yeah, very casual. Yeah, so as a very casual, I would say you don't like her as a character. You're probably fine to skip because guess what? There will come a time where she will also probably get power crept. It'll probably be far in the future, but if you like the design of, for instance, Sparkle more, pick up Sparkle instead. Just having a good buffer or a good support, I should say,
Means
not
a lot.
buffer specifically, means a lot. I mean, it's basically the thing that is going to change how you play the game in all respects. Like, as you can see here, it's like Ranmei and Huho can be basically slotted into any team. And that'll probably be the case moving forward for quite a while. Now, here's the thing. Let's say we are going to run Sparkle, Gabe. Right? Let's say you're going to run Sparkle. Do you have room for Ranmei? Well, that's the key, right? This is in a double DPS setup. You would not. But this is where we kind of are advocating for the double support setup with the healer and 1 DPS as a free-to-play because it allows you to have that longevity of content, right? You're not swapping out your
because
DPS
not
all the
every
time.
DPS will be made for double DPS. They could still
Correct.
be made hyper carry style.
Correct.
So, for example,
And I guess to go back to the tier list just quickly here. So the reason why Kafka, for instance, and like El Ratio and Jingyuan and Himiko will not be S tier as DPSs is simply put because of the fact that they require more tailored supports than something that just goes unga bunga. When a DPS goes unga bunga and doesn't have particularly like specific needs or you don't have to build around a specific thing, then your supports like Ranmei or Huho, they get a lot more use out of them because you can basically just swap those DPSs at any which way you want, but those two characters are basically going to keep you afloat. If you had both Sparkle and Luocha, okay, so if you have both Sparkle and Luocha, so Sparkle is your support, right? And Luocha is a healer. So that's, if you wanted to go double DPS, sure, but now you're investing in two characters that'll
Sparkle
get
more
power
works
crept.
like a Bronya who wants a hyper
Right.
carry instead of a double DPSer.
Right. So for Sparkle, again, Luocha, Huho, they kind of do the same job in essence.
They just heal. Yeah.
They heal. They have a little bit differences here and there, obviously.
Yeah.
We're talking free to play. We're not talking C6, Huho, which is basically betted on crack. But you have two supports there. It's like, well, pick whatever carry you want, and then pick a second support. You're good to go. And usually that carry will be the element that you're facing, and that's all that really determines whether or not you're like changing characters.
So that's what
that's
what
something
we meant.
else. Yeah.
So
yeah,
with the double DPS, you're stuck between those two characters and having to have Ranmei or another support that would actually double up on your damages, right? For example, Yukong. Yukong has 2 damage bonus rounds, but that's after her. So you'd want to like speed tune her.
Which is a lot of investment
Yeah.
and so on and so forth.
So you need to speed tune her just before you're both 2 DPSs. That's okay, but it's much harder, right? The good thing about our way of doing the double supports. Doesn't matter. One of my main things that I've told is that you can pick if it's a hyper carry or not a double DPSer. It doesn't matter because you're still picking against the enemy element.
Correct. And that's more important than kind of how the kit functions in a lot of ways. And that's kind of, again, that's another like point towards the need gacha. If you really wanted to like, insulate yourself from power creep in quotations, you would want a main damage dealer of every type. And then just your supports. And then you swap those main damage dealers out for the fight that is required, basically.
Yeah.
But as far as March 2nd support for that team we were just looking at, so the thing is not to shit on March 7th, and God forbid I'm shitting on Godpard, but tanking is not as important as it used to be. Is that a correct statement, Gabe? Yeah. So
healing is like quintessential because here's the thing, right? People put Fushuan up here, best sustain, but the playstyle is literally kill everything before she dies. Sure, she has 2 lives. But if you don't kill them fast enough, she's not going to sustain as much as a healer would. I'm sorry. Like, people are going to be like, oh, Fushuan, you can't fucking die. No, you can. She's only going to take out 70%, but once she's actually gone, a healer would actually survive longer. Like, make you survive longer in a match.
And the thing about healers, too, is it's not like just a healer. A lot of games, when you pick a healer, it's like, yep, I'm playing a healer. In this game in particular, healers typically have a little extra oomph onto their kit, whether it's a little bit of a buff, or they debuff enemies, or they do something extra. So it's not like you're, I'm sure a lot of people would, and this is, again, I think this has to do a little bit with like human psychology to like a certain extent, is that we like to see number go up. And so damage, like DPSing, and this is in, like, if you think about like Overwatch, right? People who play Overwatch and still play Overwatch, the majority of the player base probably likes to play a DPS because it's fun to kill people and it's fun to watch damage go up, right? In MMOs, the majority of classes picked are the DPS class. Tanking is not as like engaging, right? It's not as fun, it's not as flashy. Healing is the same thing. And so I think there is that like, logical leap. It's like, oh, well, I don't need a healer. That's boring, right? And this happens in Genshin too. A lot of times, like the perfect example of this was Baizu. So Baizu is like, he comes out, and I played around with him for a little bit. I'm like, yeah, this guy's broken. He needs high investment to be that broken. But he's one of the best healers in the game, period. It's just that healing isn't flashy. Healing isn't, something that's, it's not going to make your damage bigger. It's not going to, and so most people aren't going to pull for a healer, especially when they, are looking for that next DPS or looking for the next damage. And that's kind of, I think it's by design for gachas and things like that, to kind of prey on that human psychology to make you want to pull for the next big damage dealer and thus spend your money. But tanking, it's great. Yeah, sure, mitigation's great, but like, why mitigate the damage when you can just heal through, right? Because it's not like Huho or Luocha are having trouble healing. The only time you're gonna maybe see like more of a tank meta is, if the developers start to decide, yeah, we're gonna create an enemy that has a debuff that prevents you from healing your team, right? And if that's the case, then you would want to run someone like Fushuan, right? Because then it's like, well, I don't have to worry about that.
Here's another thing. There is another end game content where it's about the bugs, but they're just so fucking strong, and it just takes a while to beat
Right.
them. That's
Right.
when I would say you go for a more classic team. So,
Right, which is like your classic MMO style
Yeah.
team.
So that's
where
when
you
you
would
just
want the
go pick
DPS.
Yeah,
Yep.
whoever. So if they have that weakness,
Heal.
put them there.
Yep.
Have a support, doesn't matter. Bronya, they're in love with each other. They're freaking gay.
Sure. Yeah.
Healer, which are Ho-Ho, and then you
Yep,
would
doesn't
want,
matter.
You would want
And then
to
you
have,
bring your tank.
Yeah.
If that's the only one you've got, then you bring that one. I mean, obviously Gepard's probably a little bit better in that instance, but you know, that's that's like a more traditional, like 4-party setup.
Yeah.
But that's
this is when you don't need to chase the turn timer.
Right.
Because you'll be fine. You'll survive with this. But if you're chasing the timer, get rid of this and add this.
Yep.
Even better, this.
Yeah.
Because now you have eight fucking
Hips.
skill points. Yep. She's very hungry for it, but she'll skip his turn and he'll just keep getting more ult, getting more skill points for his shit, and then she'll keep using her shit, which is basically half of Bronya, what Bronya does for her skill, moves him up, he'll keep doing his shit, and then she just keeps using her skill, right? And if she gets her ult replenishes 4 skill points in one go.
Right. And then you just got Luocha there making sure everybody's alive. And that's kind of
and he doesn't need to heal.
Life.
He does not need to heal. He has an auto heal, and he literally gives you more skill points. He just goes and hits them, gives skill point back. Done.
Right.
This is what I'm going to do when I get Sparkle. And as you can see,
so this is a team that you're building. I see.
As you can see, it's double support, right?
Yep. 1 healer and 1 main damage dealer.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing right here. Okay, so here's the second team. So if, for example, Memory of Chaos, there's both the sides have light weakness. I'm already using Dan Hang on the other side. I can't use Seal. I'm gonna get
can't use
fucked.
him anymore.
Yeah, I have Seal. I'm gonna get fucked. Right? Here's what I'm gonna do. Ratio free. But oh shit, right? Oh shit, we can't fucking. He's not gonna be at his best behavior because we don't have a double DPS, right? We don't have Topaz Numbi.
We don't have Topaz.
We don't have what's her fucking name? We don't have Silver Wolf.
Right.
Right? So I'm just like,
oh. What's that? Universal support, universal healer.
And you know what? He's not even gonna do damage. You know what?
Yeah, you can basically put.
Wealth is gonna have effect hit rate, full effect hit rate, no damage. Skill slows them. Ult imprisons them. And then there's a passive on ult that debuffs them to take more damage. That's 3 already. That's 3 debuffs already. I have a light cone that has a passive that makes them take more damage. So that's another one. So that's 4 debuffs in one roll, in one turn of Welt using skill and ulting. And that's enough for Dr. Ratio to 100% a motherfucker and hit him with a fucking follow-up attack.
Right. But again, Dr. Ratio, this is not his like ideal team.
Nope.
But why does it work? Because you have such a good support and healer base to basically build around. They're the anchors of your team, and then you can basically slot in. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I need a DPS that does, fire damage, and you put in the fire damage guy, and put in the sub DPS or whatever the heck that you want to put in. Gives you more freedom to play around. It lets you sort of, give an asterisk, turning Star Rail from a need gacha to a want gacha. Because if you have your support structure,
Uh-huh.
you can basically pull for whoever you want.
And guess what? If you don't have Welt to give you that debuffs, and we're telling you to collect your support so that you can actually make any DPS viable without their bullshit, right? Mommy Ranmei carrying? Yes.
Yes, she is. Absolutely.
She is. Even if it's double DPS or hyper carry, it does not matter. That is just how good supports are. So when we say collect your supports, collect your supports.
Yep, so return to that tier list.
Collect
there
your
it is.
supports.
Yep. Those are your most important characters.
It makes the game from needing new DPSs and trying to chase the numbers into just playing who you want with enough supports to carry their damage up. That's really it.
Now, obviously, that will not last forever, right? There will come a time where even when you try to force that L ratio team, that you might say, man, the health of these enemies is just too much. But that's going to be down the line where you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, I've already pulled for different damage dealer because I liked the way he looked, or I've got this new support that does something really interesting that maybe changes the way the battles work. It's a little like Pokemon in a sense that, like, when you get creative with like the mechanics. So when Trick Room was introduced, Trick Room teams are an entire there's an entire different way to build around that, because you're now reversing the speed of what would normally be like, if you have units that are fast, they're slow, and your slow units are now fast. I could see them introducing a support that says, yeah, you use the alt, your slow characters are now fast characters are now slow. So it changes your turn order, and maybe they're introducing that character specifically to counter some sort of new boss they've created that's very fast. He outspeeds even the fastest character. And they're, creating this unit to kind of showcase that strategy. But that strategy, that support that has that kit, obviously this is fake, this is made up, I'm creating this on the fly, would still have longevity because it would enable you to, build maybe a slower character or a slower team. It's a better investment in terms of as a free-to-play player to pick something that has a unique kit. And typically speaking, supports have unique kits. And then it's also in your best interest to pick a character that is less likely to get power crept in a need gacha, especially, and can open up and be as flexible as possible, because that's the key. Flexibility is really important in a need gacha, because you're not going to have, as a free-to-play player, you're not going to have the money to pull for every character. Yeah, exactly. Plain and simple. You just can't get every character. It doesn't work that way. I mean, unless you're like insano lucky, like Gabe is, right? You just pull 30 pulls and get who you want, but not everybody is like that. So, a lot of people, not everyone is like that and can, afford to do that or get as lucky as that. So, as a free-to-play player, and I would say even then, this is not just like a free-to-play player tier list. I would argue it's also a kind of new player tier list. Like, if you're a new player, don't know who you want to pull for, who you want to save your gems for, wait for good supports to come out, and that's when you invest. Get your your first initials on good supports, etc. And once you get your supports on lock, you can now set aside that and say, oh, that bunny waifu's really cool. I like her style. Oh, she's a DPS? Great. And then you get to play with your bunny waifu for a year because you have support X and Y who do all the carrying in the background, and they make your bunny waifu better. So Vlad is like that. He's a big spender. He likes to collect it, or is he big lucky?
Which one?
Yeah, which one? Is he big spender or big lucky?
here's the thing. I moved around Topaz. And that's because she's a enabler, and the whole thing
Yeah.
that
Yeah. That's
I
fine.
want to. No, he's lucky. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I
Okay.
guess it just, you know, not everyone can be born with a silver spoon in their mouth.
Yeah, true. But okay. The whole reason supports are up there is because they enable you. It's like me enabling Merrick's schizophrenia.
Yep.
It just makes it work, right?
Correct. Exactly.
So the reason why Kafka is up here because she enables the DOTs, right? She's not the with DOTs. Here's the thing: with DOTs, they're not the main damage dealers. They just add more stuff.
It's a team compounding together. Yeah.
And then Kafka activates it all. And then what Black Swan does is I think she adds more.
Right.
On RNG. Topaz is a debuffer, but she's a follow-up attacker, and so she enables other follow-up attackers by dealing more damage. So she's more of a support. That's why Dr. Ratio and all of these other ones are here, is because they're more doing their own thing. They're on the same niche, but they're doing their own thing. They're not the enablers, right? And then these three are down here because it's just bad. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just that they were power crept quicker.
Yeah.
Right. They were released in a state that wasn't as good as some of the other characters. But come back to one of the comments. Yeah, big addictor to Honkai Star Rail. Yeah, gachas are made so that people gamble on them for sure. And I guess this is a good point to be made. China is going to be changing their laws coming up. And so when they do, you will likely see gacha games that come from that region to no longer have things like daily login bonuses or daily login systems. And so that's to try to curb some of that gaming addiction and in the sense of this kind of gambling addiction as well.
I'm a gambling addict.
Yeah, well, you're just going to have to move on elsewhere. But something else, and I guess this is something that, this is kind of an overall arcing thing to remind yourself if you're playing any, and I don't mean, any gacha game, but any live service game. Live service games, EOS all the time, end of service. And so when they end of service, that's it. If you spend $750 in Genshin Impact, and then it EOS's, the stuff you got on Genshin Impact is gone forever. It's not like you can go on a private server and play it. It's not like you can go offline and play it with the things you had. That's it. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Star Rail. If you're going to spend on Star Rail, understand that, whatever money you put in is gone forever. It's never coming back. It's not like you can hold on to, the skin you buy or the thing you buy. And this is the same thing with Legends and other live service games. Those cosmetics, those heroes, the things that you purchase in those are totally, that it's transient. It's going to be gone.
If League dies, my $1,000 in that game gone.
Gone. Yeah, but then here's the other thing that you also need to keep in mind as a non-spender. Understand that your time will be gone. And this is the key. This is why I think they're trying to change the way live service games as a function. It's like you don't want to have people logging in every day because it creates that addiction. So I am extremely guilty of this. When I used to play World of Warcraft, one of the biggest factors for me to continue to play the game was to make sure I got my money's worth out of my subscription. But I played, thousands upon thousands of hours. I wasted many a good summer as a teenager pouring time and effort into that game. And basically for nothing. When I walked away, that's it. It's not like my character lives on. It's like he's gone. It is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to
Bro
keep that
got
in
big
mind too.
glasses, two buck teeth, and acne.
Yeah. So if you're going to play any game that's a live service game, you need to ask yourself first what it is that you want to get out of it. And so not everyone is going to want to play a game 24/7, and especially a game like this, right? Like I would argue like Star Rail, like go find a more fun game to waste your time on. It's just not for me. It's an auto battler. It
Yeah,
is
like
what it is, right?
Spider-Man 2.
Like yeah, exactly, like Spider-Man 2, or a game that you physically can own a copy of that you can play forever. You know, there's a reason why a lot of people go back to old puzzle games or old story games because those, you know, they're tangible. They're things that you can return to. Um, you know, speed running communities speed run old games all the time because you can still return to those games, and that's kind of, you know, that's why I'm kind of pro emulation as well, because it archives those old experiences to like a new digital format that you can have on your computer now, instead of having to purchase the, you know, $300 Nintendo 64 that's brand new or whatever. But so with specifically Honkai Star Rail, as a free-to-play player, you have to ask yourself, do I want to go hard? Do I want to be casual? If you're going to go hard and you're going to be a free-to-play person, understand that you're saving money, but you're going to be spending your time. And so when you are evaluating your account and like what you're like, you know, trying to feel good about, understand it's your time that is being sacrificed. So what will save you time? If you have good supports, those supports will last for the future, well, or for a longer future. Thus, it's less of a waste of time to build them, invest in them, play with them, right? Because you get to enjoy them for a longer amount of time, and so on and so forth. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Planet Zoo, exactly. That's a great game, a great example. You know, any, or even Zoo Tycoon. I mean, shoot, you can go all the way back to Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. That has a multiplayer modding scene now. You can play that multiplayer. So, yeah, I think the thing to always remember is that, you know, when you get into a live service game, and more in particular a gacha, right? This is a gacha. It's even more predatory. There's a lot more, you know, there's a lot of psychology. Let's be real, okay? The developers aren't stupid. They talk to these people who are psychologists who have, you know, an understanding of the way things work, gambling addicts, the whole deal, and they ask them like, how do we hook our players? How do we retain players? And those are things that they're invested in, and so they try to, you know, it's why you have things like, you know, bad rates, right? They want you to roll to spend money, but it's also why like farming currency in those games is such a headache, right? It's like, well, if they're not going to spend money, they're going to spend their time instead because that looks good for investors. End of my rant. Continue on. I apologize for derailing.
But yeah, I was just saying,
Hundreds of save files. My goodness.
I've put these up too
Sorry.
because they're enablers, and who those people who are enablers will probably go up in a rank, and it's the lower they are. Would C's are just, I'll tell them that they're bad, but B's is probably where I'd put like they just do their damage. They're the color picker. They're the damage color picker, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then C is just they've been power crept. They're
Yeah.
just a fossil.
Yep.
I would even also like D, it's almost like non-existent, right? It's like, yeah, you're gonna have like characters that are even more power crept or whatever, and eventually,
D.
you know, it's like
Don't play. There. There.
but like there's not really a character you shouldn't play. Maybe one. But
Because here's the thing, Herta has been put as the worst character,
and I disagree with that. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
she actually has a play in the end game where if you get enough buffs, you can perma-freeze people because she's an AoE ice. You can perma-freeze people and just damage them slowly and beat the game. Alright? So she
Gacha
actually
video
has a
essay
use.
one day. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. This live stream get supercut and edited down into like a more comfortable format for the channel. So I mean,
Yeah, and then
that
it'll
rant could
it'll
get
still
cut
be
up
here.
and turn into something.
But the stream will
Um,
still be here. So.
But yeah, the stream will still be here, but it'll be more functional for most people to like view it. But yeah, a more specific video, like essay on gachas or games as a service, whatever. That can definitely happen. I wouldn't if we did that. I wouldn't mind getting Woo in here, so that way we would have all three of us
Yeah, we're gonna
discussing
play the Warframe Gacha.
Warframe Gacha. Yeah. But I think I have a very opinionated view on that stuff because of the fact that I went into game development and such. Yes, high YouTube view. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this will be saved anyways, so don't worry.
Yeah, so they'll be able to watch back this and in its entirety, all the brain farts and whatever else that happens, but it will be cut down to size for like the sake of if someone just needs to watch a quick video on kind of a tier list or what they should and shouldn't do or whatever. I kind of don't like saying like what you shouldn't do, because ideally you can do anything you want. It's your time and money. It's just that here are some things that you can do to like prevent yourself from wasting said time and money. Anyway, so are we done with that subsection of characters? Are we on to the next one?
So now,
okay.
Let's just. I think we're doing the other sustainers. So healers.
Okay.
Right? Healers. Boom, right here. Gives damage buff and heal.
Yep. Basically, HSR's Bennett.
Loocha. I do have C2, which gives damage, but still a really good healer.
He's still good.
Yeah, but if he had
you
C2,
have a higher investment,
right there,
yeah, of course. But I mean, not everyone can luck Chad C2 like you. Who's the character you shouldn't play? Well, you'll have to find out.
Healer. The fuck? Oh, her.
Yep.
Here. Not bad, but she can't cleanse.
She can still work, but it's not. She doesn't have the same utility. Yeah, exactly.
Lynx actually has a mechanic to make your tank or your destruction unit have more aggro.
Right.
So that
gives her a little bit more of a niche.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
And then Natasha is your plain old super healer. Where the hell is Natasha?
So the thing is Lynx. If you really like her design, great. If you like her gameplay, but maybe don't like her design, or you don't like the fact that she's a 4-star, there's a lot of people out there, and this is another psychology thing with gachas. A lot of people out there don't want to run any 4-stars in their team. They think, 4-star bad, right? We want only 5-stars. It's very likely they will come out with a support or a healer that will do the same thing, where it will add aggro to your team, and you won't have to worry about that. And then she will probably move down on the list because she won't do it quite as good as the new unit that will up there because she has more utility.
I'm sorry, I put March here.
Yep.
March shields one person and does AoE damage. But if you want a big shield, you gotta do defense and not effect hit rate. Sure, she can freeze enemies, AoE enemies, but you'd have to separate the build into not being as much of a tank. Gepard is up here. Pure tanker, huge shields, but I would honestly put Fire Trailblazer there because not only does she give shields for everyone, but also her skill makes it so that the enemies actually are aggroed to her. So it's it's definite aggro.
Correct. Yeah, listen, that 5-star mindset is something that I think...
no, I know where I have it too.
Yeah, I think most people do. The way I play Genshin is I typically pick my favorites, and some of my favorites are 4 stars. So
Mm-hmm.
I have Razor built to the teeth, and I still like to run around and play as him, despite the fact that he may not be the best character.
But here's the thing: I won't like tell you that you suck because you have that 5-star mindset, because I have it too. But here's the thing: I won't. That's null and void. Having the 5-star mindset is null and void because the 4 stars do get power crept.
Correct. Yes. So the thing is in a live service game, and especially a gacha, the 4 stars will get power crept. Now, obviously, you've got some exceptions, right? Like if you see Genshin Impact, Bennett has been S tier and continues to be S tier. And it's not likely they will power creep him anytime soon unless they release some sort of Natland buffer that does a better job. But, even then, you look at Jin-Q versus Yellen, they kind of do the same thing. And in fact, Jin-Q is so good that why remove him from the team when you can just simply run both of the units? So 4 stars will get power crept sooner than 5 stars, obviously, because the 5 stars are designed for you to pull and use your money. But it's one of those things that, like, as a free-to-play player especially, don't look at whether or not it's a 5-star. What's more important is, what are you missing on your team? What can you use to make your fight easier? If that means building and kitting that 4-star unit that gives a buff to your DPS because you don't have a better buffer, then you better build that character because you're going to need it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the thing with need gachas. Sometimes you got to make choices that aren't exactly your favorite choice. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Got to get the 5-star version of Dan Heng if you didn't get him. But anyway, I saw you moving some characters around. I'm assuming.
Yeah, so I've moved these guys to. These are follow-up attackers. They're color picker DPS, but I would put Ratio up there. He's the top. And out of the DOT's color pickers, this would be Sampo being the best.
Gotcha. Yes, Kaya is a good character. He is. Hopefully, will continue to get some good story elements as.
So after follow-ups, let's do.
Yeah. So, I guess to run it back though. So with the tankers and healers, right? So because they kind of they share a role, which is damage mitigation slash.
But I would put
healing.
Fushwan here just because she gives crit rate.
Right.
She enables more than these two.
Right, but let's say another, like, let's say they release a Gepard with humongous shield, and he also provides like some sort of really nice buff. You know, it's like now you start to get that the additional value out of the unit. And that's kind of how need gachas go. They keep adding more and more to the kits so that you have a reason to pull for them. But good night, Tristan.
Good night. All right. Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Okay.
We're here.
So
we're still good.
Now what we'll probably do is eruditions, of course. He would be on top of the eruditions. Who else is erudition? Her. Okay. That's it for erudition, I think. Yeah, everything else is destruction.
Yep.
And hunt.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Erudition, of course. Our Beauty Knight is the best for our color picker DPSs. Next would be, I would say, hunts. Whew, oh boy. So.
Oh, is this going to be a controversial choice?
Hunts. We have. he's also destruction. He is not. There you go. All right. So these two are more of the same. That's the actual color picker, and then your best hunt, and Yang Ching is just bad.
Well, yeah, because of the fact that Jingliu exists, but if you're free to play,
Yeah.
you pick him up, you can still use him.
Yep.
He's still ice, he still does damage.
And then lastly would be our destruction, would be down here. I would probably do that, 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 and that between that and then this.
Poor Arlen.
So destruction. These three would be probably your color pickers, and then
Right.
The 5 stars are on their own league of who's strongest, and then there's Arlen.
So here's the thing, though. I would say this is like, yeah, poor Arlen. This, from a perspective of someone who doesn't understand the tier list, they'll say, "What the heck? Why is Inhibitor Lune in C tier?" Right? As a damage dealer, he's probably somewhere in A or S tier. Don't get that wrong. He does great damage. But this is about what units you should focus on as a free-to-play player, and more importantly, units to focus on in a different team format, which is double support, a healer, and then your color picker DPS. In other words, the element of the day that you need to get through the fight. So that doesn't mean that,
they're bad. No.
Jingliu or these are bad by any means. They just happen to...
Yeah, this is the need.
They're characters that will get power crept. That's it, period. I mean, it is... They do not have the same investment value, time, or money as other characters will. Yeah. Correct.
But, yeah. I mean, if you want an actual damage carry fucking...
Fearless,
just go fucking here. That's it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But that's not what this tier list is.
No.
That's what you need to survive as a fucking free to play in a neat gacha world.
So. If you're a free to play player and you're watching this video or stream, what's important is to ask yourself, okay, well, 2.0 is coming up. Did you or did you not pull for Ron May? If you didn't, maybe because you don't have the cash or you didn't have the, you didn't
save up.
You didn't play, right? You're coming back to the game. Then consider to start saving for Sparkle. And the reason for that is because she will be meta defining. She will be a support you can use for many teams. Because every character unanimously wants energy. Period. Doesn't matter which character you're playing. So having extra of that resource is handy.
You mean skill points? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Skill points. Skill points, energy, same deal. Just a different game. But
and that's why Tingyan is up there as a 4-star, because she just gives such a huge energy amount.
Right, and Pella is up there because the fact that her utility is really, really good. And on top of that, so when you take a look at that, like you say, wow, you get a Pella for free, right? That, like, if you're a brand new player, you just started out, like you really want to, like, you're not sure where to invest your stuff in, build that Pella. She is not going to...
She's going to stay there. That's an AoE defense shred.
Right.
She's going to stay for
She will be good up until
she gets power crept.
They release a 5-star character that does her job better. Yeah. Period. That's it. Like, once they do that,
I've already
she'll
seen people
drop down to A tier. That's it.
I've already seen people going, oh, Silver Wolf power creeps Pela, but she really doesn't, because Silver Wolf Shred is only for one character, one enemy. Pela does everyone in that fucking circle.
Yep.
They're different. I wouldn't say they've been power crept. Like, that's what I meant. When
you look on the tier list, she is below Silverworth, but it's like it's not much of a below, right? It's still worth noting that she's
when the time comes, if Sparkle comes out, people are gonna be like, well, I've already seen videos of like going, Sparkle or Bronya, they do the same thing. No, they don't do the same thing.
Not at all.
They do not.
Not at all.
Yes, Bronya is more straightforward, and Sparkle has a game-breaking shit that gives you more skill points. But sure, Sparkle moves your character a bit 50% forward, right? But it's not as she does not power creep Bronya. Bronya is more simpler, yes, but as supports, you don't need to replace one with the other. You could have them both on the same fucking team.
Right, and that's kind of where like this double support idea, where we're kind of placing this out there for those who are free to play. It's like the whole double DPS meta / team composition really relies on heavy characters that will go by the wayside much quicker than a support will. And so if you, let's say you pick up Sparkle, right, and then 2 months down the road, Sunday comes out and it's like, oh, Sunday does the same thing as Sparkle does, but he maybe is like a defensive, like he gives defensive buffs instead. In no world would you say, oh, well, that power creeps Sparkle. Why not use both characters, right? Like, if you're running Inhibitor or Lune, you want both characters because you want more skill points, period. Like, you're less likely to run into that position of having to make that tough decision when you're cutting a DPS, right? Yeah. Whereas with the double support healer and DPS build, really your DPS it's less about how good they are and more about what flavor they are. And so that and again, we kind of discussed this before, this allows you to kind of play it as a want gacha, because you can kind of pick your favorite character and soup them up with 2 big supports, and then have your healer.
Yep, I could just be like, oh, I have Sparkle and Bronya. Get a fucking Arlen in there. I'm gonna fucking play Arlen and make him good. Boom.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? I, in the last video, watched it. Great, ups to you, but the whole like Arlen video thing. I mean, I still want to see it, so you better make an Arlen video. You better. But it will be unironically leagues more viable the more supports you have, if you wanted to play Arlen as your main carry, right? Like, if you really love him, yeah, it says don't play on there, but guess what? Prove us wrong. Make a video, and you never know. You might be the like #1 Arlen god. But
see you.
Good night.
Coach.
Yep.
All right. But
have fun.
That's the thing, because sure, right? The thing is, Jingliu and Blade are not the same character. They didn't power creep each other, but once we do see a power creep for Blade, and you just wasted on Blade.
Right, exactly. I mean, and this is where, like, when we got into the investment of money and time, that's where you have to ask yourself as a free-to-play player, is my investment of Blade, right, the time, the effort you put in, whether that's obtaining the currency in game to get him, whether that's building him, whether that's using him, was that a worthwhile venture? And that's where, like, when you talk about double DPS builds, why I was mentioning like feeling burned, you might get in that position where you're like, what the hell? Like, I invested all this time and effort in a blade. Like, why do I have to replace him? And that's like the thing that, like, you know, I guess a good example of a live service game that earned me was Destiny 2, sunsetting weapons. I spent many hours farming for, farming PvP matches to get to a high enough rank so that I could get the weapons I wanted, and then turn around, oh, sorry, we're sunsetting those. You can't use those anymore. And to me, it was like, they was spitting in my face. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess my investment time is not valued. And so I left. I quit the game, cold turkey, never went back. And so I suspect this happens to a lot of players, especially gacha players, when they're playing a need gacha, especially because of the fact that your time investment isn't really like respected. Dawei and Hoyoverse, they want you to spend money in the next best unit. They will do everything in their power to make you want to pull forward. Very rarely will they release a unit that is significantly weaker than the current team that is there, or if they release someone who kind of sucks, just expect that they're going to get power crept even harder. So you just have to be very careful in a need gacha environment. That's why I feel like this perspective, this tier list, is the most definitive for, like, entry level or free to play people who like want to do most of the content in the game, right? Like,
or at least
even if
try
you're
to
playing
do
casually,
yeah.
right? Yeah, even if you're playing casually, like, I would say it's in your best investment to, like, get at least a support that can carry your characters that are your favorites, right? Yeah, I mean, that wraps up the tier list. Is there anything we need to discuss in terms, like, the double carry meta? Is there any content creators we need to, like, put on blast here? Like, what is?
I don't know. I don't want to.
How do we want to wrap this up?
But they know who they are.
They do know who they are.
They know who they are. That it's like, oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, right? But
yep.
Honestly, if they don't have Ron May, it is such a miss if you want to actually do the double DPS metas. Because, for example, you only have Ting Yun with the best 4-star support, right? Or like Bronya, right? It would be better if you have Pela, because Pela actually does an AoE on debuff on the enemy, not on your characters. But for example, you only have Bronya or Ting Yun against with your Jingliu, Blade, and Healer, right? So either have Ron May, which is the best outcome, and then Ting Yun, you'll be losing DPS on one character because you have to pick one of them.
Right.
So that's the thing. Sure, Ruan Mei is changing the meta, and that's because you're being able to have 2 DPSs. But
she still functions on her own, and that's the key.
But what is the difference, right? So if I do this, what is the difference of this and just doing this?
Right. And arguably this might be even better because of the fact that you're more consistent. Jingliu, who is doing the bulk of the damage anyway, right? And so another big difference is the fact that those 2 supports there are less likely to get power crept. So your time investment is going to be more respected. And let's say Jingliu gets power crept, you just replace Jingliu, and then your other 3 characters are safe.
And like I said, you're stuck with having ice and wind. You can't dry. You can't go in dry every time. Like at this point, stuff is getting harder that you can't just go in dry anymore. You actually have to plan it out.
Right.
So,
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who regret pulling on certain characters because they don't have that element available to them.
Like me, without Jing Liu,
Yep.
where they had the fucking giant monkey, and I don't have blade, I don't have any wind DPS, right? And I don't have fucking Jing Liu is the best bet I have because reading through the enemy list of weaknesses, ice is next to what do you call it when they're more repeating? Ice is shown more next to dark and light. That is the third.
Gotcha.
That is the
Third most common.
Yeah, third most common.
Gotcha.
Next to wind, and then it's wind next. And then it's fire, and then it's physical.
Then physical.
Yeah. So I am regretting on not rolling for Jing Liu, but here's the thing: if I did roll for Blade, I would be stuck with a Jing Liu and Blade and Ron Mei. And if I don't have the right elements for the enemy, I'm just losing more damage out, right?
Right, and that's it, right? It's a gamble.
Yeah.
Let's say you had rolled for Blade, but you got unlucky. Maybe you wouldn't have even been able to, because you wouldn't have had enough. Or you would have sacrificed for Ron Mei or Ho-Ho. Like, you wouldn't have been able to pull for the characters that you wanted. And the thing is skipping Jing Liu or Blade is not as big of a skip because guess what? There will come other wind DPSs and other ice DPSs.
That could
so it's
be
not like
better double DPS teams than Jing Liu
Right.
and Blade. Like
Correct.
they could, as a team, they could both get power crept as destruction double DPS.
correct.
So it's
I guess in closing too, like I would love to talk about, because again, it's kind of a new video fad, and you can use this tail end here, make a little like PSA, but a lot of people talking about, well, which 5-star character should you select with the 300 pull selector? And if you look at the tier list, right, it's like the no-brainer, or at least our tier list. Yeah. Our tier list would say Bronya because of the fact that she's support. And yeah, in more cases than not, Bronya is the smart choice. Gepard following suit because he provides utility that the others don't. However, what's way more important is what you currently have to build around. So if you pulled for Ron Mei, it might be better for you to pull, a DPS. I mean, yeah, maybe not the best DPS out there, but it might be better because you don't have a character to buff up and build around, right? Or maybe you're missing a good shielder. Pick up Gepard instead, right? You've picked up the other characters, so there is no definitive choice.
Thing, right? So this is an example. I have picked up Ron Mei.
Yep.
I don't want to jinx myself, actually. But fuck it, who cares? I have picked up Ron Mei. I have a Ron Mei, right? And then what she does is give break effect. So breaking shields, right? And so, of course, I'm just going to have a healer. Doesn't matter. It could be Luocha, Woho, doesn't matter. And she is a double DPS master. And she's all about shield breaking. So who else better to add that has something to do with shield breaking but not about dots? Can you guess who it is?
We're laughing, but yeah, that works, right?
Yes. And then you just have the best shield breaker support that mixes with her well, which is either where the fuck? What was the other? Herda, worst character in the game, but every shield break, she does a spin. Like Himiko only has 2 spins every shield break for every 3 shield breaks, but it's big damage. But Herda, every single shield break she spins. And
this is viable, and especially if you're let's say you're fighting enemies that are weak to fire, this is the type of team that you'd probably would want to consider.
And
because
guess what? If you don't want to use a fucking Herda because you think she's so fucking bad, right? Just put a fucking Tingyan on.
Yep. Or better yet, you can probably even put in Sparkle and get away with it too. This is the case that like having that double support. And again, you look at that setup. What is it? It's 2 supports, a healer, and your main damage dealer. And your main damage dealer, it doesn't matter as much about what their kit is, what they do. Obviously, those do matter, but that's more complicated. You're building around that.
Yeah.
It's more important is that little tiny symbol in the top left-hand corner of their character. What's that? Fire? Oh, I need fire. Bring in the fire character. Hey, Gabe. We're about to fight a robot who is weak to wind. Who are we picking? Who are we bringing? Oh, no way. Okay, cool. Oh, man.
We don't have Blade? Hold on.
Yeah, there you go. That works. The guy we're about to fight, he's weak to physical. Exactly. Right? This is about as simple as it gets. And this is that's really what it comes down to. It boils down to that.
Like, oh shit, dude. But like,
and
what
the
if
beauty
they're
of
separate?
What if they're separate? Yeah.
What if there's 2 big bosses that has one light weakness and one darkening weakness?
What are we gonna do?
And that's why
Healer and a support?
That's why
Yes,
Warframe is
this
kind
is
of really important still.
correct.
She is super
because this
flexible.
does open up.
Yeah.
Exactly. And keep in mind of something else too. The endgame activity in Honkai Star Rail is the same as Genshin. It requires 2 teams. You build 2 teams. If you get supports and that support gets power crept, but it's still an amazing support, guess what? You now have an amazing support for your other team.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with Genshin.
Like I said,
support, put it on the other team.
People are saying, "Oh my God, Brony got power crept." What?
But Bronia sucks. Yep.
What?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, second team dark.
Oh yeah, it's
second
dark.
team
Dark
darker
is
light,
on the other
darker
team.
light, bro. Darker light.
Yep.
Pick one. So if you do dark,
Yeah, you didn't use Luocha. Yep.
continue.
There you go.
Oh wait, no, it's another light character. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Double light.
That's it.
And well as he's considered here, he would be a support, not a sub damage.
No, he's
because of the way he's built. But yeah.
It's just full effect hit rate so that he would get 100% every skill.
Correct. But as you can see, double DPS, which it's effective, but it's expensive. It's not as flexible. It has a much higher chance of being rotationally hard on a free-to-play person. It's just not. It will be pushed, and you will be tempted to pull the way your favorite content creator is pulling. And trust me, if you're somebody who has a gambling addiction or has a hard time with self-control or impulse control, do not watch your favorite content creator stream their pulls and then they're spending like $600 on it. Don't do it, because you will feel inclined to do the same. And the thing is, if you're someone who's casual, then more power to you. Pull who for whoever you want. Play the game how you see fit. If you're that casual person who wants to take it up a notch and you're not really sure where to go, this to me is the safest bet. Like if you have your 2 supports that you can put together and your healer, you can pick whichever husband or waifu you want to put on the field and it'll be fine. You could even run Arlen. Arlen lovers rejoice. You can run Arlen.
Electricity weakness, bro.
They're weak to specifically Arlen.
Fuck.
Only Arlen can save us. Whoa. Is that 2 supports
You know
and a
what?
healer?
Hey, you know what, dude?
Oh,
Just for Arlen.
2 just for Arlen.
Because he's a fucking dumbass.
Poor Arlen.
There you go. See? Supports is the way to save. So when I cut myself last video off, I knew that it was gonna elongate the video much longer, and I wouldn't have enough words to, or time, ample time to explain why I've been just swearing so much at these YouTubers who are just like, new meta, oh, you gotta do this for new meta. Like, bro, most of the people who play this game are free to play and doesn't understand the game, and you're just giving them numbers, and they're just like, oh, okay, he's strong, okay,
Right.
and you gotta mix it with another DPS so that they're double strong.
Here's actually something else too I didn't even mention, and this is something big. The double support setup with a healer and 1 main damage healer benefits those who are casual, who don't really like to farm for artifacts and like stat boosting items,
That was
because
another point I made.
yep, your buffs are coming from your supports, so you don't have to invest as much time and effort into those things. And so, and I'm just gonna say it, most Genshin players, from my experience, have no idea how to build characters, and so they just kind of throw stuff on and they move on. Well, same thing. What if you come across somebody who they don't even realize they can level talents? Guess what? You stick 2 supports on there and a healer, it's very likely they'll probably be fine.
My character is so strong, guys. And then
Yep.
a reviewer goes in their account. Why the fuck are your talents levels 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just works out.
Yeah, it
That's
just
what
works
I said
out.
when it double DPS is just too much investment. It will not work
it is.
out.
It's too much investment, and you're gonna be, like I said, you're gonna get burned. That's it. If you want to chase after that as a low spender or a free to play player, you will get burned. You'll find either your time or your money will be the things that will be affected. If you're a whale, more power to you. Chase that dragon. Go fast. Go hard. You know, you're funding the game for people to play free to play. So thank you for the service, but this is aimed at free-to-play players and new players too. I would say players who might, and I actually think this is a great tier list. If you're brand new, you see 2.0 and you say to yourself, wow, I want to get involved. Maybe you saw like the cool 2.0 stuff and you're just starting now. Pull for Wanmei, pull for Sparkle, and then you can basically, you're just going to need a healer. It doesn't even have to be a particularly good one. You'll be offered 4-star ones, I'm sure. And then you can pick whichever DPS that you find cool in 2.0 to slot on your team. And then you'll work towards getting your flavor of the week. You know, oh, I need purple DPS, or I need blue DPS, or I need lime DPS, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Because you'll have those supports, you'll have that structure. And then that will alleviate a lot of stress. It'll alleviate a lot of that impulse stuff too, because it's like, well, I don't have to pull because, you know, I've got these 2 nice supports that are also already carrying me, so I can do the content that is normally like decided by the development team to, like, you know, push a character, because you're able to not necessarily brute force, but you're able to, you know, do so without maybe playing around a mechanic and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else?
So
yes,
here's the thing. Well, I'll add in another, like another Molotov into the mix where it's like, okay, yeah, you'll have double DPS.
Okay, gotcha.
For example, these 2, right? And you have a healer, and you have Ronin.
Sure.
Survivability would be.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because you actually build your supports as tanks as well. unless it's like Ting Yun where your buffs actually come from how much attack you have as well.
Right. Usually
Yeah.
they scale off a
Yeah.
different stat. Yeah.
But for more basic ones, Ruan Mei, I have enough break effect to have the max amount of buff, but still all of her other shit is actually tank. So she's tanky. Bronya.
Right.
Bronya just needs a chest piece that's crit damage. Everything else, tank. Right?
Yep.
So there's survivability of having two supports that are like beefy is actually better than having a Black Swan who has effect, hit rate, and attack, and a Kafka
Yep.
that has effect rate and attack,
Right.
and then having healer and then a Rowan May. Okay, another example. Jigglypuff Blade. Jigglypuff straight up attack, and she eats everyone else's ult up. Blade, full HP. This is why I'm telling you that this team is the best right now for a double DPS because Blade is actually tanky enough because he's full HP.
Right.
And Jigglypuff,
It's the same thing that's happening in Genshin at the moment. Some of the most like relatively meta characters, Yellen, Novelette, even Hu Tao to some extent, they build HP versus attack, and the fact that they get to build HP and scale off HP means you can play them a lot more recklessly because you have a huge
Extra HP.
pool of survivability. Even more so on Novelette's end because he can self-heal. And so it's like, if you can build HP instead of attack while also scaling off of HP, you've got the best of both worlds. So
if for right now, if you do want to be meta as a double DPS, get Jigglypuff Blade and Ruan Mei. Actually, you need Ruan Mei.
Yep.
You need
everyone.
First of all, you need Ruan Mei. And then if you're a Kafka lover, you still need Ruan Mei. So that's what we mean. Supports are what we need as free to play. And then you just get these two afterwards. And then get your Kafka team, your best Kafka team out there.
Yep. And let's say, you get bored of Kafka, you're no longer in that mommy phase anymore, and some new hot waifu comes out, and she needs to be paired up with another sub DPS. So guess what? You got Wanmei there to get you, and if she doesn't, she can run on a double support team. Even better. And it's not like you're gonna place her.
When we're saying Sparkle is the next hyper carry DPS next to Bronya, well, not next to Bronya, but they're more of the same. So what's better than being more of the same? And then just
having both.
Another character that eats up a lot of skill points.
And a healer. Yep.
Hyper carry.
But I will say this, just I guess as a header or forewarning, Sparkle will change the way the game is played. And more than just being a support, because having more skill points will change the way characters will function, rotations will function, auto will function differently, and more importantly, it will change the way the developers move forward because they will see the usage rates. They get that. They all those numbers are sent to them. They'll say, oh, a lot of people are picking up Sparkle because every YouTuber, I guarantee you out there will say, you need to get Sparkle. She breaks the game. She's the best meta unit, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And so everyone's going to have Sparkle. And then the developers will come to a problem. They'll say, ooh, everyone's got Sparkle and everyone's getting a lot of skill points.
And that's what
we need to how do we design content that is hard or difficult for characters that have this many skill points? But on the other side of the coin, right, if you want to be a positive thinking person, the development team will say, Sparkle makes it so that characters have more skill points. We can create hungrier and hungrier characters that use more skill points, or characters that interact with skill points in a fun kind of way, right? And so this is that like starts to open the floodgates of development, right? And so she will be definitively, I will say this, it's like any must pull characters on that list.
Oh, what?
Sparkle.
What?
Yeah. Sparkle is one of those characters, and the reason for that is because she changes the way the game is played. Simple as that. There's nothing else. You don't have to worry about her numbers, how much she buffs for. It's the fact that she takes a game mechanic in the game and changes it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So let me tell you something.
that amount of energy or skill points, not anymore. Now you've got this many.
So do you see how like damage dealers are very scarce on being up top in tier list?
Yep.
That's because,
And
like we said,
Mhm.
they will get power crept, and it's literally just a color picker. The real people who change meta is not this crazy bitch. It's not this crazy bitch. It's these fuckers right here.
Yep. And if you click on, because we have single target selected, but I mean, if you were to go to AoE or Blast, you can see, look, the only thing that changes really is the type of damage dealer you're going to be using. The rest stays relatively the same. And that's really what's important. Because as a free-to-play player in a need gacha, that is the most important decision you have to like make, is what kind of character am I going to get that in a need gacha will not get power crept, right? Or won't get power crept as hard or for as long. In a want gacha, you can pull for whoever you want because either the content is available for all levels of skill or whatever, or the content's not hard enough to make you pull for it, and instead it's for favoritism. But yeah, it really just boils down to like, which supports do you have? Do you have a healer? Okay, slot whichever color damage dealer you need. Like, really, that's what it boils down
if
to.
they need a debuffer or ratio, just put them in.
Yep.
Yep, because you have Ron May now, and Ron May lets you do that. Enables.
Yep.
Because even here, look.
Yep.
If they have 3 targets or 5, and you have ratio on the other side, or like seal. Oh no, not seal. More like a character that needs a secondary debuffer enabler. They even go down still, because that's just how it is. With sustain though, just grab the next best healer. Honestly.
Yeah, and the thing is about healers, it's like that decision of like power creep will be determined on like what utility you find to be the most either interesting or best suited teams you like to play. Some will provide attack buffs, some will heal more than others, one might give reviving, so on and so forth. It's down to the utility, but healers are going to still heal, and tankers are going to tank, and damage mitigate.
Just remember, the people who allows double DPS teams, who allows skill points to be eat up fucking buffet style, would be supports. Yeah. And that's,
well, I think so. I think I understood what you were trying to say there, but yeah.
They are your enablers for your teams that you want. For you to get what you want. These are the people you need.
Quick question, actually, because I just spotted it. Kafka and Black Swan, should they be in A tier?
Yeah, because DoT they just enable each other.
Right.
They're the best for each other because they enable each other. Meanwhile, the other DoT here are just DoT for color's sake.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yeah. But yeah, enablers up here. These are
Gotcha.
also enablers, but like they're more finicky.
They're just a little less. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not as good.
But these are your best enablers to actually make you go through the game with whatever color pick you want as a DPS.
Yep.
That's it. That's really the story. So when I say double DPS, sure this is really working right now.
That's
But
great.
that's because of
And
Ron May.
Yeah, it's not because of anything else, really.
Like they'd be losing out on damage if they did this or did this. Right? They would be losing out on damage because they would have to be sharing one support.
Yep.
But with this, she literally enabled the most, quotation mark, meta team right now.
Right. But understand that meta disappears. It gets power crept, etc., etc.
Yep. So who knows? Once the ratio comes out, people are saying he's the best hunt character right now. People are gonna be going, oh fuck Jiggly with Blade. I'm gonna go ratio with Nami and then these two. It still doesn't matter. You have Ron May there. She still enabled it. Like, sure.
And the beauty is, if you skipped Topaz and Nami and you've got your Doctor ratio, drop her and throw another support in. Throw Sparkle in. Throw in whoever you want.
So if you have Hanya debuffs the enemy.
Yep. Could even run Pella, who's free.
Debuffs the enemy.
Yep.
Who else debuffs the enemy? DOTs debuff enemies.
Yep.
Well, debuffs enemies. Done. That's it. So don't listen to the YouTubers who...
And don't listen to us. We're YouTubers. Don't listen to us.
Yeah.
Anything we're saying, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Don't listen to us. We're
But
nobody.
you know what we are? We're true free-to-plays.
True.
Unlike MTashed or Tectone.
I'm calling them out.
Yeah, they're not free-to-play. They've got money. I'm broke.
Yeah, you got to make your decisions very carefully.
Uh-huh. And this is it right here.
Yep.
All right?
All right.
So, get your Sparkle. Get ready for Sparkle. Get your Ron May now.
Yep. Yeah, get it now instead of later.
Bronel would be your best pick for your 300 ticket picker on your standard banner.
Unless you already have enough supports and you're looking... I mean, maybe you don't have a healer at all.
Yeah.
Guess what?
No, but I would
Bilo's
still
great.
say,
Pick it up.
still say if they didn't have a Bronya. Like, you don't need the constellations, but if you don't have a Bronya, get a Bronya. Yeah?
Okay.
Silver Wolf. Alright? This is for B. You want a full quantum fucking? Yeah?
Quantum or nothing.
Yeah?
Yep.
Fuck you. Wait.
Where's Sparkle?
Where's Sparkle? And
Right
then,
there.
Where's the... Either this, or if you kill him fast enough, B, and you don't fucking care, where is she? Boom. There.
Yeah.
100%. Every time Silver Wolf fucking drops down her shit, it's quantum. Happy? And you know what? They can keep doing that, and Seal can keep fucking using skill because of fucking Sparkle. So get your Sparkle, bro.
Yep.
Silver Wolf
Invest
is not
in
needed.
Sparkle.
Yeah. Silver Wolf is not needed unless you actually just want to do mono and like go in dry. That's why she's just down here, but she does change how the game is played. But it's not as much needed if you just do a color picker DPS double.
Yeah, of
support.
course. This is more Unga Bunga.
Yeah. Except for Sparkle, that's already my team.
Oh, well, there you go. So replace whoever it is that you are using at the moment
on
for
Sparkle? That's probably Bronya, huh?
Probably.
Yeah, Bronya's fine. But no, just get Sparkle and you're done.
Yep.
This is it. And then you get a better someone power creeps Seal as the best dark DPS. Put them on.
Yep. You get Arlen 5-star, who's
But Gamma does more damage than Seal. Fuck you. Not everyone is lucky as you, bro. Not everyone is as lucky as playing fucking Gamba as a main DPS. But it can work. And here's the thing.
But guess what? Look at Sparkles still help that too.
Sparkle still helps. Silver Roll puts down the shit. Sparkle has extra skill points so Gamba can keep gambling.
Yeah.
And then Fushuan or Lynx as your tank. It's fine. Or not your tank, as your sustain. That's fine. That's it. You're done. If you want to keep playing Gamba, go keep playing Gamba. But Sparkle will enable her more.
True.
Sparkle will enable her gambling addiction more. And that's the whole point on why these supports are so important to free to play. That's it. You want a full light team?
Yeah, let's see it.
We don't have a light healer yet, but
Oh, we don't have one.
no,
yet.
we don't have a light support, but
support.
this is it.
That's about as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah. But if you want to make them mono, just do this. Instead of Welt, you would need your Silver Wolf to replace Welt and then Ronmei.
Yep.
Or another support which is Yukong, or just keep your Welt and just fucking put so much fucking. I was gonna say the R word. Alright. But you just put so much shit on the enemy. Rachel's like, hey, look at that guy. Boom. Done. Full fire team?
You read my mind. I was about to say full fire team
Full
next.
fire team? Boom. Follow up attack, double DPS. Fire support, and then your Silver Wolf. Or just pick a fire healer. It's not one yet, but soon. But you have a fire tank. So,
Right.
that. Because if you just want to do monos with Silver Wolf, that's it.
Secondary team is just dots.
Yeah, but who do you have, bro? You have Kafka? We literally showed you the best team for Kafka.
V, are you a mommy lover?
Like, that's it. It's still double DPS.
V is mommy lover.
Yeah. This is it, bro. We're showing you the best. Yeah. We're showing you the best of...
So you're gonna want to save for Black Swan and Sparkle.
Yeah. We're showing you what you need for who you want.
Bronyaverse kind of guy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I think Bronya's kind of plain looking.
I think Bronya...
Not for me.
I think Bronya's gay.
Ugh.
I think Bronya's gay for Seal.
Ugh.
They kiss in the office. Disgusting.
Whoa. Not in China, they don't.
Yeah, that's why they're in the office. But yeah, going back to here. These four right here is your meta
That's
changers.
good. Yep. That's
Four
that
here
good.
meta changers. The four here next are your best damage givers.
They're just good.
Yeah. And then below is just your enablers.
We only have 2 Bronyas in Star Rail for now.
Yeah, these two. You want to mix these two? You want to mix fucking Silver Wolf and Bronya? Alright? So here's what you do. Have 2 of the same. They're both DOT. They both
Ah,
like Black Swan
yeah, you can
enables. Like you may
Yeah.
not have the enabling effect of Kafka activating your DOTs in just a single skill, but Black Swan keeps adding more. And guess what? Sampo does the same as Black Swan does when with that fucking and keeps adding more. So it's just gonna keep adding more and more. Just two of the same. And guess
But
what?
don't worry, they're gonna release a Sampo and Bibiter name version as well. He's gonna be.
Yeah, Sampo is gonna be
Just
naked.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Sampo's
He's gonna be naked. He's gonna have like he's gonna be like straight out of Bollywood, like really cool, powerful attacks.
Uh-huh. But that's really it. Having two supports or needing the Ron May, like even still here, two supports, no healer because fuck. You wanted to do fucking DoT, but still, put a healer on there. But there's gonna be a fucking wind healer. Oh yeah, there you go.
There you
Oh, mono fucking
your
wind.
healer.
Mono fucking wind. Oh gee.
Gee.
Or
Gee,
even
Rick.
if you don't because you said you wanted both Bronyas in here. There you go, two Bronyas.
There you go.
Would rather Luca over Sampo.
Sampo. Well, that's fine.
Well then that's not wind quantum. I mean that's not wind mono, is it?
Because I don't like Sampo. I mean, that's fine.
But then that's not wind mono. You want physical
Aye.
mono?
But then you gotta remove Bronya.
Yeah. So now you just have healer. And where's Luca?
Luca. He's right between.
Luca. There you go.
Yep, there he is.
Alright, guess what? Oh, that's not two supports, that's two DPS. Oh.
Oh, that looks like a fairly free-to-play team right there.
Yeah.
Except for Quantum. Okay.
That's mono quantum. I mean fuck
That's
mono
Quantum. Mono physical.
mono physical. Don't need mono except for
That's
quantum, and we just fucking showed you. We just fucking showed you.
It's alright.
You're good. You're good, that's it.
So yeah, pick up your Sparkle.
Take up your
Get your
fucking
Sparkle.
sparkle. Right? And then for your Kafka, for your mommy issues, pick up your Ronmei right now.
And your Black Swan later.
Yep. That's what I'm doing. I already picked up a Ronmei. And then I'm not rolling for Black Swan, so I'm just rolling for
Get to
Sparkle.
go for Sparkle.
Yep. See, this is why I didn't roll for Kafka. Because I don't care.
Yeah, you're not about that AoE
I'm
dots.
not about that hentai. But here's the thing. The reason we're telling you this build is because if she's what you want to use, all power to you.
Yep, that is actually like it. Because the whole point of the double support and a healer is it allows you to basically pick any character that you want to build around.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you're a big fan of regular Dan Hang. Regular Dan Hang. You're like, Dan Hang and Bibiter Lune? Get out of here. I want regular Dan Hang. He is Husbando. I want to build around him. Look no further.
Oh, wait, no, that'll make it easier.
There you go.
Make them weak to wind. Fuck it. Or if you don't want Silver Wolf, just throw in another support. Ron May. Throw another support.
Yep.
Sparkle. Throw another support. Anya. Doesn't matter because it's gonna keep buffing your main DPS.
Do
Like
people
Dan?
actually like Dan?
that
I
one
think there are
person.
quite a few people that like Dan.
That one person in chat.
Oh yeah, you're right. They were a big fan of Dan.
But Daniel is better.
Well, yeah, of course.
Daniel is better than Dan. Sorry. He's a dragon.
Yeah.
He's a dragon, alright? Look at this guy. What is he, a fucking e-boy? That's it.
Whoa. careful now. Those are fighting words.
I'm ready.
It's a pretty spicy
I'm
take.
ready to fucking fight, dude.
Okay.
TikTok and have. No kidding.
Okay, but no. Okay, Gabe. You know, my favorite character happens to be on. Build Jing Yuan for me.
Jing Yuan.
Yep.
You're a fucking loser.
He's
Why are
been
you playing Jing Yuan?
I know.
Oh. Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
Your support is Topaz Numby, making your
Yep.
follow-up attacks on the main target that she puts on, deal 20 more percent. And a Sparkle so that they Sparkle is so they can both keep using their skill so that your Lightning Lord can do more damage and Numby can do more damage.
Yep, and your Hoo-Ho is there to heal.
Yeah. I wanna go piss.
So you've got.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think we call it here anyway. I think.
I'm pissing. Give me a sec.
No. Okay. No, he's got the same VA as Riesly, I believe. Unless you're talking about non-JP. I think JP, they both have Daisuke Ono. English, gotcha. Well, sorry, I peasant language English versions of Genshin or Star Rail. They pay big bucks for the JP VAs, so I'm gonna listen to them. It's an anime game. I'm gonna listen to that JP anime game.
I think I got a better idea on how to fix this, dude.
What's that?
We're gonna watch the stream again, and we're just gonna basically write down points. Cause this stream is pretty much like we've repeated our stuff about 4 to 5 times.
Yeah, of course.
So we're gonna still do a script, and it's gonna be a better video. Cause then we'd probably name it.
No way. I'm not changing the language for the area I'm in. Are you kidding me? Those files are huge, B. There's no way. I'm uninstalling all the files, reinstalling them, and so on and so forth. There's no way. Not in a million years.
Yeah,
Can't make me do it.
Oh god, I wouldn't want to be stuck in Inazuma.
Yeah.
It has the best voice acting but the worst characters.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we're gonna. So when do you want to sit down?
I don't know, someday. But you can help with the writing as well. You can just rewatch the video when you're free. But.
Oh, you want me to just like watch it and?
Yeah, when you're free,
like
just watch it and just make a mini script of so that we just say points twice during the video and then at the end. So it's a much shorter format, and it's gonna be titled.
Damn, you don't want to cut up how much? You don't want to cut up
3 hours.
2 hours or 3 hours of video?
We've repeated the same point about 5 times. So this is more just like this is the base of our script.
Right. Well, and I'll just say this too. Then just put your stream when it's done, and it's a video. Just go ahead and relay it through your like community posts and such that they can go rewatch it as well. Because you never know. There might be somebody who wants to sit down there, they're in that podcast mood or whatever. And I mean, this was not as like schizophrenic as it could have been for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I tried to rein myself in a little bit.
We're gonna do the Azumac stream.
Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, is that gonna be our Genshin stream?
Our first Genshin stream, yeah.
Because we're gonna do. So I guess. I mean, I don't know who's in here at the watching. If you're watching the stream, and you're watching it as a video later, and you've made it this far, I suppose surprise. We're going to. Yeah, thank you, big thank you. 2024 streaming instead. We're gonna do probably more streams, but it's likely we're gonna start doing character trailer reactions.
Yo!
So you get our first reaction to that.
Kidding.
Yeah, we already have face cam. What are you talking about?
Yeah, true.
And then I don't know. Probably like I think it was brought up today that there was like they wanted a condensed like video essay on. Yep.
This is basically the same thing, but we're gonna condense it by just not repeating the same lines every time, and just putting it on paper first, so that once Merrick writes down the stuff and we both relay it, I can just simply like what we're saying, I can record that on video and just put it on screen at the same time.
Right.
So what I'm probably gonna do is that we're gonna record on a magenta screen, so that I can green screen the magenta out of just us talking, and then just put whatever video is on the background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. If you'd like to do it that way.
Yeah. I got it.
Another thing to add, I guess. So reactions, more streams, but that might involve like, I don't know, maybe other games if you want to see other games. We were streaming TFT over on Twitch for a little bit, but I mean, it seemed like YouTube streaming was better, so maybe we'll just stick to here. Just gotta learn the format.
The alerts, yeah, because I couldn't find how to do the alerts.
But yeah, maybe more games, and maybe we'll stream. I don't know, like we could stream like doing Archon quests together and stuff, because we typically do those quests together. And those streams would get hectic because I get extremely schizophrenic and go way off on tangents, and you would get to spy into a rather particular brain that has a massive understanding of Genshin lore and outside of that lore too. So that might be kind of fun, but yeah. So expect probably just generally more content, because you'll get the trailer reactions whether we stream those or we do them in a video format. It's probably better if we do them in a video format, but we'll see. But just there'll probably be more content on the channel in itself. And then if there's anything you want to see in particular, probably have the community posts asked about that stuff. I want to see an Arlen build, see how that comes out. If you do a good job editing, maybe more people will want to see build videos from you. But that requires investment.
And I'm free to play, so I'm not just like some YouTube creator who has actually spent money on this game and just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna build Arlen just cause. I'd be wasting so much time building Arlen.
You would be, but kind of have to.
What do you mean have to?
Well, I mean, maybe someone find the recording, or
that's just you, bro.
Maybe it's been lost to the ether, but
that's just you, bro.
Oh, it's just me.
Oh yeah, B, I played the Warframe news story. It was fucking gay. Quite literally homosexual.
It was gaming.
No, it was quite literally homosexual. Man falls in love with himself and has a gay relationship with himself.
Oh, that's just what's his name? It's he falls in. It's the Greek guy who falls in love with his
Yeah,
reflection.
Narcissus.
Yes, Narcissus.
But yeah, his other version of himself just gaslights himself. So
Soft cheek touch.
yeah. So
Ah.
basically, the other version of himself gaslights the other version of himself, because the other one is evil.
He's the man in the wall.
Yep. It's pretty gay. The ending was pretty gay. And then I looked at the grind loot. And I was like, I don't fucking need this grind loot.
Oh, was it bad?
Yeah, it was melee shit.
Ah.
And like, the only good one there that I found was like, every hit just adds corrosive to your fucking weapon damage. And it was like, well, I don't fucking care.
I mean, that's fine.
That's the only best one there, but you know, Warframe YouTubers are gonna be like, oh guys,
But those exist?
Yeah.
I thought Warframe was so dead that the YouTubers even.
Nah. So like, yeah, shut up, B. Dude, new Arcane's melee so much, and then the YouTube video makes them change the whole build of your Warframe just for that Arcane to fucking work. Like, what the fuck, dude? I was like, oh yeah, but this new I'm gonna do Colervo.
Really? It's doing well?
Yeah.
I don't know. From like my outside perspective, it feels
It
like
is
it's
doing
definitely
well.
not doing
It
like
is.
it used to. Like I feel like the hype isn't there like it used to be, but I'm sure it's still treading water. I don't think it's failing or
No, it's getting back up there, but not too high. But as I played, literally, I played the new story, and I was like, this is shit.
Gotcha.
It's probably the best one. It doesn't matter, dude. It's melee. It's already strong as fuck.
Yeah. How much better do you need it to be?
Yeah. That's why I looked at it. I was like, corrosive on my melee. It's like, I mean, just build 12 combo and then they die.
Some builds you don't even have to do that.
Yeah. Just because you're not looking for stuff. What else would I need to look for, though?
I mean, compared to like what, like, where's the list? Because I would love to see it.
Actually,
I would say that like
Genshin is the highest grossing.
Influence passes all your status of melee electric.
Okay, so it's just a mod slot, free.
Is it a weapon arcane or is it
they finally added arcanes to melee.
I gotcha. Well, there were some that already had them, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think arcanes have always been kind of in a weird place for me. I always felt that they were like a little bit win more. Some arcanes really like defined builds, but really just like it's like more energy is good.
Yeah. But here's my problem with Warframe fucking YouTubers, bro. Like literally,
what's wrong with them?
They're just like, guys, this weapon can do 800 trillion damage, but you have to use this Warframe, and they may not survive well. But just use rolling guard, and then you'll see, and then you'll survive enough. But at least you'll see the red damage.
Ah,
It's like, then why the fuck did I pick a Warframe?
Redman spouts.
Oh,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah, but
Well, like I said, I don't know. From an outside perspective about it, I don't. It's not recommended. I mean, obviously I've been equipped, but
oh yeah.
interesting.
Do you know how much Genshin profits are? Huh?
See, the thing that I'm really curious about Warframe in terms of like in the gaming space is what happens when Soulframe releases. Will that like drastically pull players away from Warframe, or kind of like live side by side? I'm not sure. I personally, after seeing some of the gameplay for Warframe, am not that excited about it, but
I was
Gabe
excited
and I
about it,
both
but
we saved our usernames already, but
yeah, I think I did like it until they added the filter.
the filter, yeah, the filter. Well, the animations were kind of jank too.
Yeah,
Not
no,
gonna
but it's
lie.
Warframe animations. Let's be real here.
I don't care. Listen,
The filter,
I have higher
the filter
standards
is
these days.
piss.
It is actually piss.
Like you're literally using goggles that have piss on them, and you're playing the game. And it's like not even like clear piss; it's yellow piss with fucking little granules of fucking cancer inside.
There's a term in filmmaking called film on a bottle of vinegar. Exemplifies that a lot too.
But no, Soulframe is looking to not too good. The Warframe shit. Like the only new thing I liked about the Warframe did was the incarnate weapon, so that the older players who want to play their old weapons could actually be useful. But after that,
Right.
That's about it. I just don't think you need melee arcanes. This is more
Overkill.
yeah. There's no need.
Win more. Just win more. But that's how I've always felt about arcanes. Is they're just very. The only one that I ever felt that like was not win more was Arcane Trickery, just because I used to play Ash a lot and it enabled like some fun stuff you can do with it. Like I don't know. I mean, besides like some that like increased movement speed or like did silly stuff, but like you never really built around those. But yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't have any particular interest in playing. I don't know. I always felt there was a point in time where I felt like the monetization changed for the game. It's way more heavily monetized, and it doesn't feel like I don't know. So it's just a different. I'm sure the development team has kind of course corrected in the type of content they're making, if they're like still treading water or making a profit. But I don't know. I just content islands and stuff is just not for me anymore. And for quite a while, I was farming it and grinding it for, hours and hours by myself and not really having fun. So I can find that same power fantasy in other games. How is it heavily monetized? When I was playing, the most egregious, I guess, example of it was when they released the mechs that you could use in the like Plains of Eidolon or whatever, and I remember grinding for it. Got the like good one, the one that wasn't sucky, and then they released some sort of update. I don't remember which one it was. I want to say it was the one they like integrated like the star stuff, like the starship stuff with the on-ground missions, I think. And when they did that, because you could use the mechs on board, they basically were like, oh, you want to skip the grind? Here's a package to buy the mech. And that was like the first time that I was like, damn. Like, you could obviously buy weapons and frames, but like, I don't know. It was like the most, like for me, it was like a real like oof. Like here we are, just buy it. Just hurry up and buy it. Get this thing because, you know, why should we fix the grind or why should we and have you invest in this? So I don't know. And then on top of that, the like I felt that they were like leaning into the cosmetics a lot more. I always felt that my funnest moments in terms of like the content for Warframe was usually when they would either update ribbons so that new weapons became viable and it was fun to build those weapons and play around with those weapons, or when they released like new weapon packs that had like something fun to play with. Like new Warframes could be hit and miss for me, but you know, I was never like super interested in the cosmetic stuff quite as much as some people were. And then I think I'd already quit playing by the time they had done the the like Royal Aya or whatever it is. And that's like a big like monetization kind of scam from like the perspective of like additional currencies and so on and so forth. But I get it. I mean, you know, I don't think that like most free-to-play games can't survive without that kind of monetization. I feel like they kind of have to like, I don't know, bait players into making bad decisions and spending currency or more currency than they would want to. But yeah, no, I'm pleased with the time I had with Warframe, but it's just not like I enjoyed the Space Ninja fantasy, but I was just tired of like the mismanagement, where the monetization was going, and then like I don't know, I just didn't feel like I was the target audience anymore, if that makes sense.
Let's just end the video here. This is not even okay.
Yeah, no, we're not even like it's fine.
Alright.
No, I don't want to like end it here without having the ability to respond. But then we will after that.
No worries, no worries.
And I might also just be being a boomer, but recently I was watching like Warframe clips, and I guess it's just because I'm used to playing less visually close. But I was just like, holy shit, I used to play this game and understand what the fuck was going on. Like I must have damaged parts of my brain to like consolidate all the information on screen. Because that's just like, holy shit, there's just so much going on. But like I said, I think I'm just used to seeing like a simpler game, and I play Genshin, which is like very clear cut. It's clean, it's brightly colored. There's not a lot going on the screen. And that to me is like more like visually not impressive, but like I don't know. I just enjoy that more. Like when I did play Destiny 2 for a little bit, it was kind of nice to not have so much going on. They had like a nice UI, especially. I mean, I quit that shit because that game didn't respect my time, so it was what it was. But, yeah. I mean, I have my like reasons for not. But yeah, okay. I guess we'll wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
If you made it this far, apologies for my Warframe.
Yeah, if you play Warframe
or whatever. Yeah, if you play
subscribe.
Warframe. There you go. If you play Warframe, maybe we'll stream Warframe someday.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how to build characters, and then not be like, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this. No, just again.
Just build melee. Melee go big, strong.
Yeah.
Fine. Just build Rhino.
Just build Rhino. Well, you know what? Just build fucking that Egypt guy. Fucking
Inaros?
Yeah, just build Inaros. Who cares?
No, Inaros doesn't have enough utility.
Well, he does now.
He's not as good as Rhino.
He does now with fucking Gloom, with the fucking shit and
Yeah.
infinite lifesteal and shit. Has done. So, doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore.
Yeah, big boring. I agree. Inaros big. I agree. He doesn't have enough utility. Not fun enough. But that's also kind of a thing too. Like I guess if we talk about power creep a little bit, like I feel like old frames definitely don't have the same treatment, and I guess that's why they redo them and redo their kits. But like definitely some of the newer frames are particularly powerful and feel like they have like cool kits and they're fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
But
They've got pussies and shit now.
they do, yeah. They're really cute now.
Alright. Fuck you, B.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Alright,
I
we're
think-
ending
I
the
think
stream.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna do our homework,
I'm
write down some shit,
time
and
to
then
strip
we'll
B's
condense this
power.
shit. But thank you for watching the whole way through.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully
Oh.
when we finish that condensed video, hopefully it pops off and we tell the whole world how to actually
then
play
all of a
this
sudden-
fucking game.
And then MiHoYo gives you a call and they say, cease and desist, please put down the video. We don't want you hurting our bottom line.
We don't want you to stop making
No.
them spend.
I don't
You're
think
supposed to
that would
waste their
happen.
fucking rolls on DPS. That'll get power crept. What are you fucking doing?
Right. What are you doing? Alright.
Alright.
Good night, stream. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Peace, peace.